What's blooming? Yes, your boy Shinko. For it's super low. It's super low. I gotta. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? No, you're not muted. And it's just super. Let me say what's up to everybody. What's up? The stream element bot, dark font, extra galactic girl, twice stand, Viking gaming, green lobster, big bad bear skeleton, double A, a guy with two names. This is all your fault. I blame you. Marvin T. No, we saw it. We did not miss it. It was what's up. What's up? Let's see. Popolo, what's up, baby? Doom and Ziggy, Ricky Hakuro, Style Beyond. How we doing? This was amazing. Say what you want about Wings, but he did it. He went out there, he did it, and he won. He won with grace. He came out there with no shenanigans. Boogie out here going to get his pants taped up. What the fuck was this? What the fuck was this? What's up, Kyle Agent? Did you see Boogie getting his... Yo, they ran out of tape. That was the crazy thing. They ran out of tape to tape his pants up. Like, let's go. Like, yo, you saw when they was trying to tape his pants up and they ran out of the tape. That's crazy. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Big Bad Bear Skeleton. Shout out to Wings. Wings has Wings of Dub. Did he just I think he actually redeemed himself. I think he actually redeemed himself. That's crazy. This is what it's about. This is what the people wanted. We knew this was gonna happen. We saw history happen and it happened well. It happened well. He's a tank, Blazer Frost. He's a fucking tank. Like that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. And now DSP, let's salt him up. Let's salt him up big time, baby. I say he was moving like he's a big dude. Like not even like fat. Like he's tall. Like if he worked out, he could. He's not living to see. He's not living past. He's not living past like fucking. Wings was overshadowing fucking Boogie. Look at that. He's already look. He's already dudes. Dang. Come on, let's just start, Phil. Come on, come on. You like to fuck up other people's shit. So don't like to be happy for people. Let's see. I want to say like, does he have Green Lobster? Does he have that pin message like leave the drama at the door, some shit like that? That's it. It's done. Like that's it. DSP, it's over. Like DSP's like he's nothing. He's nothing. He might as well like this is like he might as well be working at McDonald's. Like this is the equivalent of working at McDonald's. It's crazy because he makes a lot of money, but he's less respected than a person who freaking like I don't know, like he's just respected less than a fucking I don't know person who hands out flyers or something. ESP missed the boat. He missed the invitation to the boat. He missed the flare. He missed everything. What's up, Dark? How we doing? How we doing? I'm chilling here. I'm just working on these songs and shit like that. I said they like it. Keem was loving it. Love it. It's in here. Hold on. I don't think he's talking. Let me select this. Oh look, I know you see on Twitter that I was working on the I was working on about two eat. It's not. I just want to get your feedback. You guys know I don't make like I don't know how to make songs. They better have a winning bonus. There we go. All right, so he's not starting yet. So all right, so guys, I just need your feedback on one little thing. Okay. Oh. All right, hold on. Let me just pause this real quick. Pause that real quick, and then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put this down a little bit. All right, so I mean, you guys might want to turn down your like a volume warning. Hold on, let me see if I could just get to work. Okay, here we go. So I want to redo Bound 2. So like instead of saying it like like Bound to Falling in Love, you saying like gout is flaring up. So you're gonna sound like something that sounds like Jasper. That's just me. Okay, I can't sing it. All right, it's gonna be a little cringy. So I'm just letting you know. I just need some feedback on it. All right, you ready? You guys ready? Ready? I'm scared. Here we go. All right, so that's basically like what I got so far. Okay, so it's approved. It's audience approved. Okay, okay. All right. I put it low because I didn't want to blast people's ears because it's really like like it's really like grating. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of great, but I'm glad you guys like it. So alrighty, I'm gonna continue with it. I want to put like that little hook in there, you know. I know you're tired of begging with nobody to tip. Yeah, I gotta work on that. I'll have that. Miles Galactus Sloth, what's up, baby? Luna Guardian, what's up, baby? How we doing? Silent Weapons. Mr. Roddy Boomer, I see you, baby. Yo, is this dude gonna start or what? Like, what's up? Do something. I wanna do something. I don't know what to do. I wanna work on this. I wanna keep working on the song. I might get some pizza. What's up, Infox? How we doing, baby? Hold on, let me mute something real quick. Oh, okay. There we go. This is gonna be. I'm gonna be at. What's up, Omega Kirk? How we doing, baby? All right. Stream's about to start soon. Young Fleur is already up, ready to go. I'll put him on as soon as this stupid thing. As soon as this stupid intro. What's up, Joe Tractor? The fuck? There we go. But what's created by Phil Burnell? Like, I never understood that shit.
And welcome to the show. Happy Saturday, or I guess what I should say is, Happy Catterday.
Ooh,
what do I mean by that? I mean, I have a cat. You may have met him. You may have seen him.
You don't care about your cat.
His name is Jasper Kitty. And, he did not want to let me sleep this morning. Let's say the least, he really did not want to, allow me to actually get rest. It was around like 2 to 3 hours early from when I usually would wake up in the morning.
Let me record.
And he decides it's time to get up, and he's kneading the bed, and he is rubbing, and he is pushing, and he is trying, you know, oh my God.
It's like Tyrone when you
So basically, I have shattered sleep, you know, like normally I'd be sleeping nice and smooth, and very disjointed sleep. So as you can see, I probably look really tired today.
You look tired every day, bro.
He bothered my wife as well, but not as much. He was bothering me more. I don't know why. Last night he was super, like energetic too. Like he was bouncing all around the house.
I hope you was able to watch that.
I think what it
is
it's very hot right now in Washington State, and so we have all the doors and windows closed, and we have all the air conditioners on. So when it's cool and we have air blowing, Jasper gets what's called the zoomies. All right, this is when a cat gets super hyper, like overstimulated, excited, and its eyes get real wide, starts bouncing all over the house. So he had this all day yesterday, and the thing is, it's just gonna get hotter after the weekend here. And it's gonna get worse and worse. Like I have the air conditioner on already, because already the sun is beating on the outside of my office window, so I have to have it on to keep the temperature down. If I didn't, it would end up getting really, really hot in here. In fact, I'm going to actually turn it down to about 75. Try to keep it around 75
keep it cool
in here. But yeah, like, so he's already hyper, and now with the AC pumping, now he's like bouncing all over the house, and now he wants to get up early. It's like, ugh. So anyway, guys, I'm here. I swear. I might need to get toothpicks. Put them in my eyes to stay here today, stay awake for you. But welcome to the show. The Level 1 Podcast. It is May 13th. I can't even say the day. May 13th, 2023.
Right.
Okay?
Trying to make entertaining.
And I hope that you guys are having a good day, a good weekend, whatever it may be. Today on the show, a big chunk is going to be about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This week's big new release, the hype release that everyone is playing and talking about. After having played 5 hours of this game yesterday, I would like to give you my informed opinion of what I've seen so far. And, you know, hopefully have a good time. Giving you my early impressions of the game.
Yep.
I will be playing the game a lot more. I'm playing it tonight on the late stream. I'm going to be playing it as major streams later this week. But I would like to let you know within the first, intro segment and then finally hitting the open world, what do I really think about it? All right. So that's going to be the major focus of the podcast today. Outside of that, no real new game news or anything like that going on this morning, which is good because I think the last 2 days we had a pretty heavy podcast of a lot of game news and all of that. All right.
Give me 1 minute. I'll be right.
And so,
I'll be
we
right.
Shall begin at the beginning, shall we? All right. So how are y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. Remember, today's React Day. That means that after the Level 1 podcast ends, we scoot over to DSP Reacts, my sister channel, which you can find at youtube.com/@DSP That's the address on YouTube. And we're going to be doing DSP versus the Internet. This is my weekly clip show where I react to clips as submitted by the members of that channel. And let me tell you, taking a look at the clips, I actually have the playlist up right now. We have some first-time stuff. We have people reacting to chefs. We have some kind of a performance band. We've got the history of some pop culture characters. We actually have some gameplay trailers, which people have been asking me, hey, did you see this game? Did you see this game? I'm like, no, I haven't seen that. So they actually nominated it, and now we get to react to those trailers today and see for the first time what they're all about. We actually have some stuff about Japan. I believe there was some tourism stuff about various countries as well. ASMR. Yeah, there's actually ASMR in there. Visual effects in movies. I mean, I keep going here. Look at this. This is a good variety of stuff this week, I would say. I would say this week, more variety. Here's a ride guide. Something cute with, like, pets and animals. This is interesting. Some music. Like a cappella music. A food comparison video, but it's not what you think. It's not like, oh, compare UK this to that. It's actually like a bunch of brands of similar foods compared in quality, which is kind of interesting. Of course, we have our usual variety of memes and joke videos and things thrown in there. Some of which will probably be good and some of which probably will not be good. You know, it's always a good mix on the React show. Oh, but around 60 things were nominated, which is about the same amount as usual. I did have to eliminate some this week, okay? So allow me to explain. First of all, I think this was the first time ever, all right, where it was actually a lot of duplicates. And I was confused at that because I don't think we've really had many or any duplicate submissions from like Mega 64. And another I think is like a Resident Evil 4 animated skit.
Oh, no crap.
And I was like, what is this? Right? Like, what? Why are they re-nominated? I guess someone doesn't watch the show, but now they're nominating for the show. It was kind of confusing. But in addition, there was some stuff, again, it was adult rated. I can't watch adult rated videos because those get flagged and blocked on YouTube. Among other things, you know. But for the most part, it's still going to be a great show. We still have over, I think it's like 53 videos in the playlist to get through. As you know, we never get through all of them, right? Never. So it's going to be a good show. And we'll swap over to that after we finish the podcast today. 3 hours of reacting as usual.
How you doing, baby?
And then tonight we come back here to the channel for gameplay of more Zelda. All right? This is going to be exciting. So I think what we should do is let's go through the schedule for the rest of the week so you guys know what's coming up. And then we will talk about Zelda at length because I really have I have a lot of good things to say about it, honestly. Probably more than I thought I was going to have to talk about. I thought that I was going to come here and be like, oh, man. But actually, it's kind of not that way. And that's a good thing, I think. So
we're not going to say
it. Ladies and gents, let's talk. First of all, schedule-wise, as you know, I just said it's React Day. And then tonight it is Zelda at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time. Will be another 2-hour stream of Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, right here on DSP Gaming. I hope that you guys will join me for that. That should be a good time. Tomorrow, we mix it up. So that way we're not just playing Zelda constantly. Tomorrow it's going to be a podcast followed by Star Wars Jedi Survivor. All right? And I hope that you guys will join me for that. The streams of Jedi Survivor are such a weird, almost walking contradiction style streams. And what I mean by that is there's usually good gameplay. There's usually really well... really good like world design, right? And I like some of the story elements as well. And then the game has a bunch of bugs and graphical issues. So it's kind of like, how did we combine all these really good things with something really terrible, right? It doesn't even seem to make sense. It's like, how did we get this dichotomy of a game? It's like half good, half bad. Tomorrow we're actually going to a new planet for the first time. It's so crazy. I've been playing the game for 14 freaking hours. And now we're finally going to get to this new planet. Like, geez, it took forever. I don't know why the intro was so long. So tomorrow we will see how things go. Because we need to... The late stream is the continuation of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion's Shivering Isles DLC. Alright? So we're near the end of Shivering Isles. At this point... I think there's like 2 to 3 achievements left to finish it. And the rate we've been playing, it looks like we hit those pretty much like 2-3 achievements in one stream. So if we just focus on the story, which I'm going to do, we will likely beat the Shivering Isles DLC tomorrow, excuse me. Which is good, because as I've been telling you guys, we're trying to get into some games that are kind of the home stretch, and this is the one that we're the closest to finishing right now. So if we really hone in on, let's get as far as we can in the story, finish that, then let's get to the actual mainstream end of the story, which is the main game story. Then we could probably beat it within a week or two, I'm thinking, of nice streams, all right? In which case, that's great, because that's going to free up more time, all right, for us to actually focus on the other games that I'm playing and trying to juggle. So, Sunday night, more Oblivion. Let's make some great progress, okay? I'm actually, now it's getting cold in here. Now that I turned up the air conditioner, now I'm cold, so I'm going to turn it a little cooler, or a little warmer now. So hopefully it'll turn off and not freeze me. Okay. Monday, it's going to be more Zelda on the main stream. 3 more hours of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. And then the late stream on Monday night is going to be Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster. Now, it's funny because we're playing Pixel Remaster, and I really like the game. You know, it's a classic Final Fantasy game. I've played it before. I really, really enjoyed it as I played it in the past, but I never did a playthrough for YouTube. And I'm playing it, and I'm like, I think we're near the end. Like, I swear, like, we're getting near the end of this game. Because we're in the second world now, the second world map. And we're flying around on the Drake, and I think we got to get, like, another airship or whatever. And there's a few dungeons we're doing. I'm like, I think we're nearing the end of the game. And then someone says to me, oh, well, the game's like 32 hours long. And I look at my playthrough, and my playthrough's like 16 and 15 hours. And I'm like, oh, shit. I swear the game used... it was shorter. Like, Final Fantasy IV is shorter. I didn't realize how long Final Fantasy V was. Now, by the way, I'm not complaining. I like Final Fantasy V. But again, one of the things that we need to do is wrap up playthroughs by the end of the month to make room for new playthroughs next month. And, you know, I'm looking at it like, oh boy, I thought this was going to be one that would be more of a quicker playthrough. And now it looks like we're maybe in this one for the long haul. I was actually hoping to free up both night streams so we could use the night streams to play the daytime games and finish up more daytime games in progress. So, it is what it is. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to more chill fun Monday night. And it looks like it's going to be longer than I thought it would be. Okay? Now, Tuesday is a day that you guys are going to be interested in, because Tuesday you are going to determine what I play on stream. We have 3 options. Alright? 3 options for a game on the main stream on Tuesday. Option number 1 would be more Zelda. Option number 2 would be more Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And option number 3 would be a major stream of Elden Ring. And my bad if
Cool.
I'm a little disheveled today. As I said, I didn't get as much sleep as I should, so I'm probably going to be saying half of the wrong words and and misspeaking, okay? So, how are we going to determine what we're playing on Tuesday's main stream? A poll. What I'm going to do is during the day, likely on Monday, I'm going to post up a poll on DSP Gaming's community tab where you guys are going to vote and determine what's the main game going to be on Tuesday. And I'm okay with all of them. At this point, Elden Ring's really picked up. My Glintstone Sorcerer run has gotten very exciting now, because now I've gotten all the tools I need to essentially start melting bosses. In fact, if you didn't see the session that I did a couple days ago, you really missed out, because I started utilizing not only the Moon spell, which is the spell that you get from Renala when you beat her at the Academy, but also the Comet Azure spell, which is basically like a giant beam of energy, like the Kamehameha, like in freaking Dragon Ball. But I've now got the build to actually start using it, and it was melting bosses. It's literally, I mean, I melted, was it Morgott? And then I melted, of all things, the Lich Dragon, which I didn't think I was going to be able to do, and it just, like, demolished this thing. I was like, oh my god. So, you know, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this against everything in the game, but certainly this is pretty entertaining. Now, it's a completely different feel than my first run of the game, being able to melt people with this magic. Now, that it took me a long time. I mean, we're about 40 hours into this playthrough, but now it seems like I finally got settled into the groove, as they say, with the equipment, with all of the stats that I have, and everything set up. So, I'd be down for more Elden Ring. Or if you're liking Zelda and you want more of that right away, or if you want more Star Wars, whatever you want, vote. And like I said, that poll will likely be going live probably Monday-ish, so you can vote over the course of Monday into Tuesday and determine the first stream. And then Tuesday night we'll do more Oblivion. That way we're getting even further in Oblivion. Like I said, likely we're going to end up beating the Shivering Isles DLC and head back to the main story. And within a couple streams there, we might even wrap up the main story, and then we'll have more time for the other games on night streams, okay? So that is the schedule for this week. Now, next week, there was supposed to be a new game, the new Amnesia the Bunker game, but it got delayed for certification issues. Originally, it was supposed to come out on the 16th, which would have been, what, Tuesday? But it's delayed until, get this, June 6th. If you're not aware, June 6th is the same day that Diablo 4 comes out, and just a couple days after Street Fighter 6 comes out. So sadly, I hate to say it, this game is going to get buried in a pile of press for bigger, more hyped games. And I wonder if anyone's even going to be talking about Amnesia when it comes out. Kind of sad, because I did like the Amnesia series. Okay. And I may still play this game, but it's very doubtful that I'm going to be playing it at launch when I'm going to be busy with these other hotter new releases. So we'll see what happens with that. But
makes sense.
That's so that because of that, there's no new game this coming week. So all I'm going to do this next week is focus solely on making progress in all the games I'm playing. If I do happen to wrap up Oblivion, great. Now we can have one of these main games go to a night stream situation and get extra gameplay. In addition, we've got a very exciting event coming up, folks. That's right. On Sunday, May 21st, so only 1 week and 1 day, 8 days from today, it is my Fight and Feast Marathon right here on dspgaming. And I am very excited because we're going to be doing so many cool fighting game related things. I don't think I've ever really done like a fighting game related special event. Have I played fighting games? Of course. Have I done sets in fighting games? Of course. I mean, I remember the Madness series from over a decade ago. That was really cool when I would play with one character and play with them online for hours and hours. But in this case, we're going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff in order to hype up the impending release of Street Fighter 6, which is coming out June 2nd.
You're shilling for Capcom.
So, we're going to be doing classic runs in old school fighting games in the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. It's going to be the stream chat that's going to vote on the games and the characters I use in said games to run through the highest difficulty arcade modes, okay? It's going to be fun. In addition, we're going to be doing Tier Maker fun. And Tier Maker, if you don't know, is going to be great. It's going to be me ranking likely like fighting game franchises or Street Fighter in general, or maybe Street Fighter characters against each other, right? We'll see. Really interesting to say the least, okay? But it should be a good time. And then we're going to be trying food out of the Street Fighter cookbook. Over the course of this week, my wife is going to look recipes in the cookbook, pick ones out, and then actually next week on our day off coming up, my wife and I are going to go shopping and buy the ingredients that we need, and then we're going to have a bunch of Street Fighter recipes made. I'm going to be doing taste testing while going through the recipes. I'll read the recipe, show you the lore of whatever it is we're about to eat, and then try it together and see if it's actually any good. In addition to that, since you guys seem to want it, we may also do a WWE 2K fantasy match, a battle royale where all fighting game characters from different franchises will fight. It'll be like Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat versus Tekken, which would be perfect because all three of those games are actually getting new releases this year. Okay? So, this is going to be very interesting. It's going to be a great marathon, something different, something entertaining, and a great way to hype up the release of Street Fighter 6. Hopefully get people back into the fighting game mindset because I haven't played fighting games in a very long time on a regular basis, okay? So that's coming May 21st. Mark your calendars. Be here. I'm actually going to split the content. We're going to stream it all here, but some of the content will be uploaded here. Some of the content will be uploaded to the React channel. It's going to be a good mix of content for everyone for the week there, okay? So that's coming up. And then the only other thing really going on this month, near the end of the month on May 25th, there is a new release called Lord of the Rings Gollum. So it is a game featuring, obviously, the character Gollum. And it seems like it's a stealth-based game that follows the story of Gollum that's not well known. Like, everyone knows that Gollum had interactions with Bilbo during The Hobbit. And everyone knows that Gollum had interactions with Frodo and Samwise during The Lord of the Rings. But what about what happened in between? And apparently there's a lot of lore to happen between those mainstream stories, and that's what the game is going to kind of cover a lot of. But it is a stealth game, surprisingly. Like, it's not like combat centric. It's more like sneaking around and stuff. Looks good. However, as I said, this month already we've got jam-packed with 3 games that I need to try to get through by the end of the month. So I don't know if it's going to make a lot of sense to really be playing another new game this month when I really need to hone in on the ones I'm playing and get through as far as I can and try to finish them up before Street Fighter 6 releases on June 2nd. Okay? So we're going to see what happens. We're going to focus in on the 3 games I'm playing right now on the daytime streams. Like I said, when we finish Oblivion, one of those games or more will be played on night streams as well. I'm going to do my best to balance and make as much progress as humanly possible before the month ends. Alright? And then, when we get near the end of the month, we can make a judgment. Gee, should we play Gollum? Do we have room in the schedule for it? Or are we just so inundated with all these games that it makes no sense to play that game and we skip it, and then the next new game we play is actually Street Fighter 6? Alright? So we're going to look at that. We're going to make those decisions, and we're going to go from there. So, that is the schedule for the month. Alright? I think we got through all of it. I hope that sounds good to everyone. It should be a good variety of stuff. No long-form React event on DSP Reacts this month. I listened to your feedback, and you guys essentially said I'm taking too much time away from the games that I'm playing and it takes too long. So I said, well, if we're already taking out time to do a special event on the 21st, the Fight and Feast, then I don't think we should do a long-form React. Maybe what we'll do is we'll alternate. One month we do a special event on DSP Gaming, and then the next month we do a special event on DSP Reacts, and we kind of alternate back and forth between the two. I'd be totally down for that, okay? So, good stuff. What we'll do is we'll start to talk about what long-form kind of Reacts thing would you like to see next month on DSP Reacts near the end of this month. And that way we'll have a few weeks to plan it out and maybe set it up and have all that going. Keep in mind, in early June, we're also going to have a ton of game release news because it's when E3 normally would be. But we're going to have, there's going to be a Sony showcase. There's going to be an Xbox showcase. Summer Games Fest is going on. The big expose about Starfield is coming out, all within about a week to 2 weeks' time. And so, that'll be exciting to get all that new game news and kind of populate the gaming landscape and schedule for the rest of the year in early June. So that'll be excellent as well. All right. Okay. So we got through the schedule. I hope that sounds good to everybody. Like I said, sadly, there's no gaming news to really talk about today. So instead, let us talk about what I think about the initial gameplay of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Alright, so yesterday I played this game for about 5 hours. It was 3 hours on my first premiere stream, and then it was about another 2 hours on the late night stream. Okay, you might say, well, how did it go? What did you think? I'll tell you. First of all, graphically, it is an improvement from Breath of the Wild. I can tell you that. However, it ain't much of an improvement. Alright, what I did notice was more detail in the environments, and in particular in things like the shadows and the water. I found a distinct improvement upon the graphics. Okay, when I'm in the water, like, it's actually reflective and it looks realistic. In the last game, it looked like goo. Okay, and the same thing with the shadows. Like, you know, the shadows didn't look that good in the first game, and this one they look way more detailed. Now, I should say something up front. I wanted to play Tears of the Kingdom. I wanted to play Breath of the Wild on the Switch. I bought a Switch specifically for it, and my Switch died the day that Breath of the Wild came out. Like, literally bricked, and I couldn't play it. So I had to play it on Wii U. So the only comparison that I have is, you know, Wii U version of Breath of the Wild versus Switch version of Tears of the Kingdom. So please understand that. All right. I can't really make a direct comparison. I wish I could. All right. So the graphics definitely are slightly improved. I would say there's more detail in the environments. However, the graphics are still at most 30 frames per second. And yes, I definitely noticed skips, freezes, and frame rate drops at key moments. You know, in the middle of combat, all of a sudden, bloop. Well, wait, I don't want the frame rate to dip now in the middle of a fight, right? Or, you know, you're going through an interesting area and a lot's going on around you, and all of a sudden the game's chugging along. And you're just like, what is going on, man? Like, what? Seriously. Like, how is this a modern game that still runs like this? And the worst part about it is Nintendo's charging $10 more. They're charging $69.99 for Tears of the Kingdom. For what? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm like, you know, looking at how the game is performing, I don't understand where the extra money went. Because it literally looks like Breath of the Wild, which, by the way, isn't a knock or a slant. It's just, it looks like a game from 6 years ago. So where did the $10 go? And why did Nintendo feel like they were justified in charging it? It's a good question, okay? Now, the gameplay elements, all right? This is what I was most apprehensive and skeptical about, all right? So right off the bat, when you start with Tears of the Kingdom, you get introduced to all these new gameplay elements. There's basically, it's not really building, because I think the gameplay that they showed you as a preview made you feel more like you're going to be building things like Minecraft, and that's really not the case. What it really is kind of combining and sticking things together, as opposed to actually building things from the ground up. It's not like, oh, I have a formula where, you know, I need 10 tree branches and 3 pieces of twine and a stone, and I build a raft. It's more like, okay, so there's some logs around. There just happens to be a sail, which is really weird that there's just sails laying around in the environment, but they are. Maybe there's a motor on the ground or whatever, right? And then you use your new ability to essentially stick items together, like with glue. And it's actually funny because it looks like glue. It looks like green glue holding items together in the environment. And it works, but it is a little wonky and a little unrefined. And here's what I mean by that. Like, they try to make it be as easy as possible, but you can only move in 2 dimensions. You can only rotate things on either a horizontal or a vertical axis. You can't fully 3D rotate an item. And because of that, you're limited in the way that you can move an item. And if you want to get it a certain way, sometimes it can be very frustrating to rotate it to get it exactly the way you want. All right? There's also, it's kind of hard to create distance. Like, for example, if you have an item floating in front of you and you want to attach it to something right there, sometimes you can't really get the distance right. Oh, I just want to have it snap right next to the side. Oops, it's too far, it's too close. You can't, it's hard to get it in the right position. It doesn't feel like it's full control. It feels like they did their best with what they could do with a standard controller, you know, control scheme, but it really doesn't feel like that. You know, it doesn't feel like that. So, anyway, it's a little wonky. You want to stick stuff together, you can't necessarily get things to stick together properly. All right. As for how to solve puzzles, what I like about it, all right, is that basically you can do things in different ways, it seems. Like, it seems to me like, okay, so the obvious common sense way to do this is to build a platform, put a hook on it, have that hook on this big, you know, like metal rod, and then just have it like glide down almost like a gondola. But then it seems like there may be other ways to solve things as well. Like, there were things that I did more creatively. Like, instead of doing a standard platform, I made like a different shaped one that actually made it a little bit more interesting, or made it a little bit more easy to build or whatever. Or maybe it was a little bit more stable than the elements that were put right in front of me. An example of this is, I came out of a temple, and I take that back. I came out of a cave, and there was a temple above me that I needed to do. All right? And I was like, well, how do I get up there? So I found 5 giant trees, chopped them down, stuck them all together, and made this huge log bridge to go up there. So I go up there, and people were like, well, actually, there was like multiple ways to do this. You did one, but you also could have climbed these vines that were kind of hidden on the other side, but you could have done this other thing too. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. That basically they present you with just do this, get there, and then they kind of toss you and say, do whatever you want. Toss you to the wolves. Figure it out. And there are, you know, multiple ways to do it. I'm actually really enjoying that part of it, the game, okay? Now, it's not just about the combining of things in the environment to solve puzzles. It's also about combining weapons. Now, this is interesting, but I am a little worried about this because it seems like any weapon you find in the game isn't very good. On its own merits, they're all weak. What it seems like is you need to find a weapon and then combine it with another item to make it good. So, for example, you find a giant long bow staff. Well, it's weak as shit, but it's got good range. So if you find spiky thorns, attach it to the end, now you've got a pointy spear, and now all of a sudden it's a damaging long-range weapon that's really useful, right? Or, you know, you got a sword. Sword's okay. But you attach a rock or a giant boulder to the end of it, and now you've got a giant swinging club that does great damage and stuns things around you. It can also break down stone walls. So I do like this, but at the same time, it does seem like the entire game will be just combining items together like that. And never will you actually just find something that's good on its own merits. It's all about combine, combine, combine. Even the arrows, like the standard arrows suck. They're super duper weak. And they almost have no use. But if you combine an arrow with a fire plant, now you make a fire bomb. If you combine it with an actual real bomb, now you make an explosive, you see? It's neat, but at the same time, is it Zelda? And honestly, you know, here's what I can say. Like, there's other elements too. There's two more elements. There's one element. It's called, is it called Rise, where you just go straight up and you actually teleport through something that's standing directly above your head. And that's fine. It's an interesting mechanic. And then you've got the time manipulation. I think it's called Rewind. So you can make anything kind of rewind 20, 30 seconds from what it was doing. And you can use this to maybe jump on a platform that was traveling and go back in time and go back across a chasm or whatever. The elements are nice, but are they Zelda? I mean, if you look at other Zelda games, there's absolutely these puzzle elements that are part of them. The hook shot, or a special type of arrow, right? Or the bomb, or the super bomb, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always been an element of certain kind of Zelda. But it seems like from the get-go in this game, literally all you're doing is the abilities. Like, it seems like they actually abandoned the core elements of Zelda that used to be core Zelda. They're not even in the game. I've played 5 hours, and I can't tell you I did anything in the game that felt like classic Zelda at all. You know what I'm saying? So, if you like classic Zelda, there's almost none of it in here. And that's kind of a problem, I feel. There's going to be people who come back to Zelda after, you know, 5, 6 years every time when they make a new iteration, and you're like, oh, this is exciting. We're going back to the classic tropes that we love, the things that we're used to. And with Breath of the Wild, I feel like what they did is they pushed the series in a new modern direction, which they needed to do, because Zelda games had felt very outdated for a while, because they weren't really updating them. They were just making them the same thing over and over. And when you're using outdated tropes, things like required backtracking and stuff like that, it becomes very frustrating and time-consuming, right? And then in Breath of the Wild, they kind of undid a lot of that. They made it like open world exploration. They made, you know what I mean? Like, and it was kind of a unique take, a different take on Zelda that pushed it into the modern era. But now in Tears of the Kingdom, it almost feels like they threw away everything from classic Zelda. It's all now tossed. Now it's all just these new elements. Get used to them, because this is the whole game. Like them or not, this is what you're doing for the game. And listen, I don't hate the elements. I'm actually enjoying them, and I was actually nervous watching some of the gameplay that was revealed by Nintendo early on of this game, because I was like, man, if this is really the whole game, it might not feel good. Honestly, 5 hours in, and we're going to talk a little bit more because we did get out of the tutorial area and got to the open world, and we'll talk about that in a second. But 5 hours in, I think I've enjoyed everything I've done in the game. I really do think I have. We did 4 mini temples, which are the same as those temples that were in the original Breath of the Wild, where there's just like short you know, like challenges of platforming or using the puzzle elements of the game to traverse and or make progress. So I like those. Okay. And I did like the whole first environment is a giant floating island that has all these different things to it. You know, you got different elevations you need to figure out how to get to, different climates. You have to start cooking the food and using the food to warm yourself so you don't freeze and stuff like that. This is all stuff from the first game, but it's a good way to introduce you back into this environment. If you haven't, especially me, I only played Breath of the Wild once 6 years ago, so this is a good way to kind of reintroduce you to all of these elements. Okay, and I'm really enjoying it so far. But no bosses. In fact, no even significant enemy fights so far. You're just fighting very generic enemies. The combat actually feels like it may be the weak point of the game. You know, the traversal, the puzzles, the actual world exploration all seem good and seem fun, but the combat may actually be the worst part. It's very wonky. Like, you lock on with left trigger and you jump around to dodge, which isn't very effective, honestly. And mostly it's just kind of mashing at this point. Now, maybe it'll get more effective as you get better weapons or whatever. Right now, it's literally mash, 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 and that's the combat. It's like, that's kind of boring, you know? And even in other Zelda games, in Skyward Sword, it had an element of aiming when you attack and slash. And it seems like maybe that's not even in this at this point. Like, basically, they turned it into a mash fest, and now all the focus will be on puzzles. All right? And that actually is something that I was a little nervous about. If you remember, I said, if this becomes just 100% about these building or combining elements, will it feel like Zelda? So here's what I have to say. So far, and we're not talking about the open world yet, because we got to that, and I'll talk about that in a moment. For the intro segment, which is about 4 hours long, interesting graphics, not bad, but not good. awesome and interesting puzzle and gameplay elements, great world design and exploration. I like the temples, and the story so far is good, but I don't think I'm playing Zelda. Like, I think that might be an issue. For those who like Zelda, I don't think the game plays like Zelda at all. I don't feel like this is Zelda. I feel like this is a new game franchise that Nintendo is now, you know, attempting to push to the forefront, and they've abandoned all their old things that used to make Zelda great. And are you okay with that? I mean, if you are, then that's great. But I think there are going to be some people who may play it and like, what happened? Like, why does it not, where are the classic Zelda things? There's even enemies here, like, there's an enemy called a like-like. Yes, the name of the enemy is actually a like-like. What is it? It's a big worm. And in classic Zelda, this enemy existed. I remember the stupid enemy called like-like, because it's the stupidest name ever. Alright? So it's in the game, but does it have anything to do with, like, Zelda gameplay? Not really. You have to wait for it to have a weak point in the face, shoot it with an arrow, then another weak point is exposed, shoot it with another arrow, run up, beat the shit out of its weak point with a sword, back up, wait again for the weak point to be exposed. It doesn't feel like Zelda at all. Really, it doesn't. It's like they really were going for something different here, okay? So, there you go. Now, after 4 hours of tutorial, yes, it takes 4 hours to get through the intro tutorial in the floating island. You finally jump down to the overworld of the game, which is the planet surface. And when you get there, immediately you're like, I feel at home. If you've played Breath of the Wild, you start looking around and you're like, okay, I look over here and I can see a temple that's glowing. Mark it on the map so I can go do it. You look over here. Oh, cool. There's a landmark out in the distance that looks really neat. You know we're going to get there at some point during the game and figure out what that is. Oh, look over here. We got a castle in the background. There's a tower to explore. Here's this, here's that. Enemies in the environment. And that's neat. Because, again, you feel like you're playing classic Zelda. Or at least not classic, but at least you feel like some kind of a tie to old Zelda when you hit the overworld and it feels like Breath of the Wild again. Okay? So at least in that regard, you got some ties to the older Zelda gameplay. Alright? And I did enjoy that. We only played the overworld, I'd say, for maybe 30 minutes. We ran out of time. Last night on the late stream, I didn't get to do as much as I would have liked. I think we did 2 optional dungeons, which only take like 10-15 minutes each. And then we did like 1 tower, in which we found those Korok creatures, the little creatures that are like made of plants or leaves. Those are back, and they're all hidden with puzzles. And when you solve a puzzle, the Korok will give you a Korok seed, and people are saying I guess you could trade those in for upgrades or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. Some people said you could trade it in for some kind of a stat upgrade or something. Or was it inventory space? I think that's actually what it was. People were saying you could trade those in to get more inventory slots. So now you're not limited to only having a certain amount of items in your inventory or something like that. Okay? So, after exploring the open world for about 30-40 minutes, I was having a good time and we ran out of time. And I think that's going to be what the hook of this game is, just like Breath of the Wild. Is it necessarily the story that hooks you? No. Is it necessarily the dungeons that hook you? No. It really is the open world. How much content there is in the open world. The interesting aspect of exploring. What's over there? What's that in the distance? What's this? What's that? Right? All of that stuff seems interesting. And that's what hooks you. And I'm excited to jump into it tonight, because when I play it tonight, that's exactly what we're doing. Like, literally, that's what we're doing, because we're going to the open world and trying to jump in, head first and seeing what we can discover. I might not even do story tonight, although it was recommended to me. If you advance the plot line, at least a couple story missions, you get the paraglider, which is essential for getting around for traversal. So maybe we should just focus on the story tonight to try to get through that, and then once we get the paraglider, then feel free to start exploring even further, right? So, yeah, that's what I think. I think tonight should be a fun stream. Now, what I'm curious about is what you guys think, all right? Because I would like to give you some perspective here. First of all, the streams yesterday did pretty good. The first stream, we started off with like 400 to 500 viewers. By the end, it tapered off to just under 400, which is expected, because we got to take a break in there. Second stream, late stream, did pretty good. I'd say I had around 300 or so viewers. That's not bad for a late night stream, okay? But all things must be put into a proper perspective, okay? So what I mean by that is what we really got to do to see how stuff is performing is taking a look overall at the video performance overnight. And if I take a look at these Zelda videos from overnight, all right, part 1 has 1,600 views, and all the other parts have around 500 views out of 5 parts, 5 hours. Now, that's not even 24 hours these videos have been live on the internet. So it's definitely not something to judge by yet. But I can outright tell you, all right, that when I played like Resident Evil 4 Remake, when I played Dead Space Remake, even when I played Hogwarts Legacy, those games were getting way more attention than my Zelda playthrough is right now. Okay? And quite frankly, I'll be honest, I think my Zelda playthrough is good. There's some really funny moments of there of me kind of messing around and screwing up. I think the commentary is pretty good. Like, it's not like I'm not liking the game or I'm bored by it. I'm having a good time with it. I had great interaction with the audience. I do feel like it's a strong playthrough at this point. But I told you guys something. I absolutely told you guys something about a week ago. And really feel that way, okay? And I think that there's already, sadly, big established gamers on YouTube who play Nintendo games. And most people who are seeking this out are going to find that before me. You know what I'm saying? Now, also, what you got to understand is this game leaked a week or two ago. So a lot of people who were interested in the game already kind of saw it or played it themselves already for free. Because the game leaked, Nintendo really effed that up. They really did. I don't know what they were thinking there. And they really screwed the pooch. So, am I shocked that this game, at least within the first 12 to 15, 16 hours here of being uploaded, isn't doing amazingly on dspgaming? No, I'm not. I'm not shocked. But, really what's going to happen is, we need to judge long-term how it's going to do, and a lot of this is going to be based on stream performance, okay? Can I be honest? The last 2 days, we've had a very generous individual who's been coming to stream and basically supporting the streams in a crazy way. Like, over-the-top levels of support. All right? 4 straight streams, we hit all of our goals. That's insane, right? But that's not going to last forever. In fact, I don't even think that they're here today, So, when that's not happening, right, are people going to show up and support the Zelda streams? Or is it going to be like what seems to happen with every single Nintendo game I play? People seem gung-ho for me to play it, and then once I start playing it, oh, this is boring. Oh, I wish you played something else. Oh, it's just another Nintendo game. I really feel like my viewers, sadly, are kind of biased against Nintendo. I don't know why, because I'm the opposite. I like first-party Nintendo games. Am I critical of Nintendo and their bad business choices? Yes, I am. And I absolutely feel that there is a rabid fanboy group of people who literally blindly defend Nintendo no matter what they do. And I think that's stupid and bad for the gaming community. You should not reward bad behavior, but that's what they always do. Whenever Nintendo does something stupid, they reward it as if it's a good choice, okay? And I think that's really dumb. But at the same time, I like Nintendo, and so I'm playing the games, and I thought yesterday was a really great day of Zelda streaming. I would hope that if people got that impression, they'll come back tonight, okay? But it seems like whenever I play Nintendo, there's just this really, like, negative stigma. People are like, I don't like Nintendo. Nintendo are kiddie games, and this is never going to be a good game no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess what really will be the test here is tonight on the late stream, right? We're going to play it again, and will people show up? Will people support? Will people engage? Or is this going to be a game that after a couple of streams already is kind of dead? I'm very curious about that, honestly, because I can tell you right now, Elden Ring still going strong. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, despite the fact the game is unpolished and messy, people still show up and have been very supportive of those streams as well. So, what's going to happen with Zelda? That's a good question. And especially, I've been told, get this, Zelda is going to be an 80-hour playthrough. And if you actually take a look at the last Zelda playthrough, Breath of the Wild, it was 194 parts long. And back then, I was basically doing playthroughs that were half an hour parts 6 years ago. So if you do the math roughly, okay, that means, yeah, my playthrough clocked in around like 85 hours. That's accurate. Now, keep in mind, I did a lot of the side content. I was doing all the dragons I was chasing. I was trying to explore all the optional content and dungeons and things in the environment. It wasn't just me doing the main plot or anything like that, right? It was definitely me focusing in on all the content that the game had to offer. Okay? But I guess the question is, what will happen with Zelda moving forward? Will people want more of it? Will people want as more daytime streams? Will people support the streams? Or is it going to be, well, we saw the beginning, and now it's boring, so, you know, now we just complain constantly, Phil should be playing another game. I hope not. So far, I've really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to more tonight. I'm actually legitimately looking forward to it, and I didn't know if I would. I was skeptical at first about Zelda. I was thinking maybe it wasn't going to be as good of a game because of what I had seen previously, but I'm enjoying the gameplay elements. Now we've hit the open world, and the open world is always really kind of addicting and fun, right? So I hope you guys will join me tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, and I hope you'll continue to join me this week. The main stream, the main stream on Monday is also Zelda 3 more hours, and then again Tuesday, the main stream is in your hands. You're going to be voting on what you want to see Tuesday. You have the ability to pick Zelda if you want. So let's see what happens. All right, let's see and go from there. But I'm feeling good. Initial impressions are that it's really good. I'm enjoying myself. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed the first 5 hours. Give it a look. It's on demand here on DSP Gaming if you get the chance. If you haven't yet, it's good content. You know, like I said, I actually was having fun, you know, razzing the plot a little bit, doing some commentary, laughing at my mistakes, and it was good. I had a good time with it. So I hope that you guys will give it a look. And again, join me tonight if you can. Okay? So there we go. Initial impressions of Tears of the Kingdom. Thumbs up. Enjoying myself. Want more. Okay? Jade, what's going on? He says, my allergies are bugging me today, and I love Zelda. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you'll be here tonight for Zelda then, to chill with me. Sorry to hear about your allergies, though. I'm sure my allergies likely will start bothering me as well. Although, because we have the air conditioners pumping right now because our weather is so hot. In fact, I believe it's supposed to be crazy hot for 7 days. I'm not even kidding. Today it's 84, tomorrow 88, Monday 88, Tuesday 79, Wednesday 81, Thursday 86, Friday 82, Saturday 81. Are you kidding me? We're going to have a week straight of unseasonably warm weather. So I need these air conditioners pumping, and because of that, it's filtering all the air in the house. Every air conditioner, and we bought really high quality filters for our furnace, which we have running on just, you know, the cooling air to circulate all the air conditioning. So hopefully we are getting enough of the freaking, you know, pollen out of the air. It's not going to bother me, but I guess we'll see. If so, I have to start taking allergy pills. And I know someone just said, dude, it's not even July. You're absolutely right. It's not even freaking July. July is typically when we get hot weather. It's freaking May. Mid-May, and we're getting it already this year. This is going to be a bad year for the weather. I get the feeling it's going to be a melting summer, you know. Anyway, no, I don't have an air purifier, but I'm thinking of getting one just for this office because this is a very small, confined room, and it probably would make sense especially if I'm going to need to have the air conditioner pumping as much as we have. You know, I think I definitely might need an air purifier at some point. I have to look into them, though. I haven't had an air purifier in over a decade. Yeah. And I have a cat. Exactly. I have a cat. Cat has cat dander. Right. Ugh. Okay. So, guys, thank you for listening to my evaluation of Zelda so far. I hope that you enjoyed the playthrough. And now it is time for us. We don't have any like you know, game industry news or anything like that to talk about today. So instead, we're just going to jump right into shout-outs. Start doing some, you know, some questions and stuff like that, all right? So our first YouTube side contribution of today is from Bloom Kit, who has a super chat. He says, it is Zelda, because Zelda can now be anything. I mean, I don't know if I like that argument, Bloom Cat, to be honest. Like, ultimately, that's like saying, oh, well, you see, Street Fighter 6 It's still Street Fighter 6 because Street Fighter 6 could be anything. By the way, Street Fighter 6 is now a first-person shooter where you shoot Shadowloo soldiers. Huh? Well, then is it really Street Fighter 6? Because if you throw away all of the gameplay elements and the things that made this a coherent franchise or IP up to this point, and you completely change it into something different, can you argue that it's the same? I don't know if you can. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the major problems that people had with Resident Evil 5 and 6. They said Resident Evil 6 it's not even a horror game anymore. There's nothing scary. Instead,
hold on, I'm still gonna be.
It's just a third-person action shooter with some horror elements, but it's just an action game now. And because of that, you've run the series into the ground. You really ruined it, and you know, we don't like it. And people revolted against Capcom. And then what ended up happening was Resident Evil 7. They completely rebooted things back to being survival horror, and it worked, right? So when you say to me, well, Zelda can be anything, I mean, technically you're right. Nintendo can do whatever they want with their own franchise, right? But you understand that this is a long-running series from the 1980s that's still to this day a major force in gaming. And people are looking for certain established gameplay elements to make the series coherent and feel like you're playing the same series of games. I'll be honest, so far I've not really seen that in Tears of the Kingdom. The only thing that's coherent is the open world. When you hit it, feels like Breath of the Wild, but that's the last Zelda game, and that's the one that veered from the beaten path of previous Zeldas. You see what I'm saying? The combat doesn't feel anything like Zelda at this point. It doesn't. It just feels like a mash fest. I'm like, well, that's not good. So I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, moving in, maybe it'll get more complex. Maybe it'll be better weapons, and things will actually change up. But for the most part right now, it feels like a great game, but it doesn't feel like Zelda. And some people might like that, and some people might not.
Did he just say that? It just doesn't feel like Zelda. He just said that.
I don't really want to make a determination yet, but I'm not feeling it yet, you know. Okay. Derek is here today, and he's celebrating his 9-month re-upping of his membership, thanks to a gift. And he says, I sent a tourism video of my hotel in Toronto. I saw it. It is in the playlist. Although, admittedly, Derek, I'm not sure how far down the playlist it is. We can see here. It's the 28th video out of 53.
Damn.
So
he's letting you know you're getting
might
scammed.
get to it. I guess it all depends on how far we get. It is in there, though.
He's letting you know
it is in the running,
Derek.
and it's not at the tail end. It's about the middle. All right? So I see if we'll get to it or not. That would be nice. A tourism video, especially for a place that I'm not familiar with, that I'm not familiar with Toronto at all. That would be pretty nice, I think, to kind of skim through and learn about the city.
Sorry, I'm out and about.
So thank you there. Tam,
and this thing is
has done a super chat
boring.
and says, when will I lose my baby teeth? I don't know. Maybe someday. I don't know what the hell that means.
That means you have baby teeth.
Sunglasses did a super chat and says, I can't wait. I can't watch your streams because I have to work all day. So please take this. Well, thank you very much, Sunglasses. Sorry to hear that you get stuck at work all day like a lot of people. But I'm glad to hear that you still enjoy my content, obviously. Probably on demand, right, after the fact. And thank you for the super chat. That is very much appreciated that you at least dropped by and you dropped that. Thank you so much. Corrupted Covenant has re-upped their membership for 15 months. Okay, I wanted to make sure it is not considered a new membership. So,
re-up.
Thank you very much to Corrupted Covenant for the re-upping of your membership. Very good. Now, we will swing over. See you later, Sunglasses. Says he has to take off. Have a good one. See you later, Sunglasses. Thanks for stopping by. Kagome, I'll see you over on DSP React. Sounds good. Okay. All right. Let us now do shout-outs for tips. Okay? So, first of all, we start off today with an overnight tip from our buddy, Game Trekker. Thank you so much, Game Trekker, for starting us off strong this morning with an overnight $30 tip. Let's get Game Trekker on the leaderboard and let's see what he has to say this week. Game Trekker has been an adamant and consistent supporter of my React content ever since I launched DSP Reacts several months ago. I'm very happy to have him on the stream. Let's see what he has to say today. So, I have some Street Fighter 6 info for you this week, okay? As you know, classic controls will retain the old 3 punches, 3 kicks with motions for specials control scheme. Right, that's the classic, how Street Fighter always was played competitively in arcades. With modern controls, the buttons will be light, medium, heavy, then a special button, a throw button, a drive parry button, and a drive impact button. So, to explain what that means, usually there's 3 punch buttons, 3 kick buttons, all light through heavy, light through heavy. He's saying there's only going to be 3 attacks, light, medium, heavy. So I guess the game will determine what each one is. And I guess what happens is if you push a direction in one of those buttons, it'll give you a variation on that. Okay. The throw, typically throwing is a certain button combination, but I guess it's going to be just 1 button now. And probably if you do a motion with it, it'll do like a special throw, I'm guessing. Special move. So that means there's a button that will just do a special move if you just push it. No input needed, like no motion needed. So instead of doing forward, down, down, forward punch to do a Shoryuken with Ryu, you can just press like forward and special. It'll do a Shoryuken. Okay? It's basically a huge input shortcut. Drive parry. This is the new ability where when someone is coming at you, as long as you have your drive meter, which is one of the special move meters in the game, filled or have enough, you can parry their move, which means you kind of block it without taking damage, and then you can have an opportunity to do a reversal or counter hit after. And then drive impact, this is the other new move where essentially you start doing a big super armor animation. So you can absorb a couple hits and you start doing this big flowing colorful animation. It takes about a couple seconds to charge, but once it charges, if it hits the enemy, it completely interrupts what they're doing and it forces them to crumple, meaning they crumple over and they're stunned, and now you can do a giant combo afterward. All right? So basically he's saying all these things that used to be specific button inputs are now just 1 button touches. Okay? That's with the modern input scheme. This literally cuts out a ton of normals, right? I mean, if each character normally would have 6 buttons, and each button is a normal, and each direction is a different normal, but now you only have 3 buttons, you're immediately cutting out half your normals at least. Okay? And often multiple specials for every character. Supers are now performed by pressing the heavy and special button together. Got a stupid pop-up. Yeah, supers are now performed by pressing the heavy and special button together, but they now deal 20% less damage. That's interesting. So you can do a move more easily, but you deal less damage. Capcom representatives are saying the plan is that they want modern controls to be legal in tournament.
Did Dara tell him that?
Simply pressing a direction and a button to execute a special move clearly will provide an edge with reaction time, but will that outweigh losing such a huge chunk of a character's utility and damage? And basically he has a comment here. He says, well, combo routes will be very suboptimal with missing normals. Imagine you have a character who has a really great combo, and it's like medium punch, low heavy punch, special, super. But because you're using the modern controls, you can't do that, right? That's interesting to me. All right, so I guess the question is, for ease of use, for the fact that you don't need to essentially practice and have muscle memory and do all of that stuff, right? Is it a trade-off to do less deal less damage, and have less optimal things to do? Like, the way I see it is, you're going to have people who don't have as much skill when it comes to actual execution. But at the same time, if they have the optimal way to play the game, like if they have a pattern that's almost unbeatable because they could do instant special moves, is that better? I don't know. I guess this is the first time we've ever seen something like this in a fighting game where it might be competitive, meaning, yes, there have been input shortcuts before. Yes, there's been easy mode controls before, but it's never been allowed in modern fighting games for competitive purposes. Meaning, if you went to a tournament, they wouldn't allow that. You'd have to use classic controls. I don't know. The way I see it is, we have to test it. I think this has to be something that's tested. For me, I'll be honest, I'm very happy I'm not heavily into the competitive scene. Because if I were planning on saying entering the Capcom Pro Tour or something, I wouldn't even know how to approach this. Do you play with the classic controls where you know you have full range of control of your character in every situation and you can get the optimal combos and the optimal damage output? Or do you go for modern controls where it's easier to play, you get better reactions, but you're going to have less damage and less options, right? Like, man, I don't know. It's an interesting trade-off, and we've never seen anything like that before in Street Fighter at all. So at this point, I think it's a wait-and-see attitude, right? Like, would I ever play modern controls? Maybe I would. Despite you have to understand something. Playing games online adds so much lag. And you may not even see it when you're watching someone play online, but you have to understand. When you just do this, touch the button, nothing. The button doesn't react right away.
But you did do the button.
There's so much delay, and that could completely change the face of the game. Maybe the modern controls will help to eliminate some of that, right? Maybe I would try modern controls, and maybe it would be cheap as hell. I don't know. I guess we'll see, but the fact that they're claiming it's going to be a lot of competitive play is interesting, okay? Anyway, he continues, many pro players are already expressing doubt that the modern controls would be competitively viable, so hopefully this is all shaping up the way it needs to. Yeah, and this is a unique situation for Street Fighter. Never been in this situation before, because Street Fighter's never gone the modern control route. I'm happy that it's in there for accessibility purposes, for sure. And if people want to experiment with this for competitive purposes, go for it. If Capcom's allowing it, you can't blame them. But I would hope that it doesn't destroy Street Fighter. And what I mean by that is there has always been a required entry level of skill to play fighting games competitively. All right? Now, I understand if you want to sell your fighting game to the masses. You want to have as many people buy it as possible and enjoy it. I'm okay with modern controls for that. But if you're telling me that now you're going to completely delete the skill requirement for people to play a game at a competitive tournament level,
wouldn't that be a new skill requirement though? Because the modern controls would now be the baseline,
I grew up in arcades
right?
playing games that were hard to control
so
on arcade
the modern
cabinets.
Controls would be the
so now
entry
you're saying
level
delete that
to the
requirement.
game.
Make it super easy. Make every game play like Smash Brothers. It's essentially what it is. Every game will become Smash Brothers now, right?
Okay. But you can turn that
I don't know
off.
how I feel about that. I guess I'd have to see it in action. I would have to see how it's implemented, how it plays in action. I'll probably be starting with classic controls and trying to play the game like that.
His leg,
but at the same time,
his leg is like going up and down.
I'm likely going to maybe eventually try the modern controls and just see the difference, right? Like for example, if I try to play with Zangief and I keep missing doing my 360 throw over and over, but if I can do modern controls and literally just press a button to execute the 360 and I get it every time,
Robert Tyler, thank you for the $4.99 super chat, hon.
It's hitting every time.
Did you watch Boogie?
So what if I have to hit the guy one extra time?
Versus
At least the
Ring of
move's
Redemption?
fucking
Yes,
coming out,
honey, I did
right?
see it. It was an amazing fight.
So
honey. Amazing.
It might work. I don't know. We're gonna. This is gonna be a very interesting month, June. Me playing Street Fighter 6, trying different things. It's gonna be a really interesting month to say the least. And this is one of the big elements of that. So thank you, Game Tracker. That was great food for thought. As we lead into Street Fighter 6 month next month, it'll be cool to think about, and I might try it. Okay.
Can we just get
Drawing Things says some pros already said they are going to use modern controls for competitive play. I don't see why they wouldn't, right? Okay. All right. So I received a $2 tip, and this one is from Big Papa Pump. And actually, in reality, he sent me two $2 tips. All right, they were each $2 each. So thank you for that, Big Papa Pump. I appreciate your support, and let's get them both added because they were two individual $2 tips.
Pancakes are ready.
Okay.
Omega Kirk, thank you for the $5 super
continuing
chat,
on
hon.
here.
Fighting is about adapting, Phil. You know that if you watch Jet Li and Fist of Legend. You know he doesn't watch movies, nor does he fight. Thank you, honey.
I received a $5 tip from Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix.
Woo,
and that is big enough to actually do an animation. So thank you very much to Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix. That gets us to $39 in tips. Thank you very much. Okay. Continuing on. I got an anonymous $1.04 tip. Thank you to the anonymous tipper. That will get us up to $40 in tips already. Thank you for a great start. All right. Continuing on. I received another $2 tip from Big Papa Pump. He says, it's weird weather over here too. For a while, the last year or so, the world weather really seems to be doing weird stuff. It's not weird stuff. The world weather does this over time. If you actually study patterns of world weather, all right, it's not consistent. It's not. It does stay stagnant for certain periods of time, and then it changes. This is a natural thing that happens on the planet. It's a naturally occurring greenhouse effect. The thing is, what's happened is humans being on this planet and doing things with fossil fuels and other things have accelerated the effect. It's the natural thing that happens, only it's happening at a faster rate than it usually would. All right? So instead of having hundreds of years to notice a change in climate, we're noticing it in 30 years. You see the difference? So, yeah, this is something that just happens. We're going to have warmer weather, and we're going to have to deal with it, with this greenhouse effect, and eventually, you know, it's going to flip again. We're going to have ice caps melting, sea levels changing. This is natural stuff on planet Earth. It's not like a giant, shocking situation, but some people think it is. All right? Now, I'm not saying the things we're doing to accelerate it are good at all. There's definitely things that we could probably be doing to stop it, or at least slow it, because we have accelerated it to the point where it's out of control. But I'm not going to sit here and talk about climate change all day, all right, and argue about it, because there's so many people who are contentious about this. I mean, yeah, when I was younger, the weather was very different. Now I'm 41 years old, and the weather has changed completely. I mean, in the 9 years I've lived here, all right, the first year I moved here, all right, it was July when it got really warm, all right? And in the years that I've been here, now it gets warmer earlier every freaking year. Now it's summertime on May 13th. It's summer weather here in May. We're a month away from summer, and it's summer. How long will this last? Will this last all the way into October this year? Thank God I have air conditioning, you know, but outside of that, you know, it's annoying. Yeah, things change. And even my parents have said, since I left Connecticut, right, they said the weather there is atrocious. They get literally the worst of the worst of the worst. And it just gets worse every year. So there you go. Anyway, thank you for the tip. Another tip has come in from sock account 472. It says, have a great day. Now, here's the funny part, is that account, sock account 472 in the chat, has been saying that's not them. So, sock account, is this you, or is this someone impersonating you again? It might be someone impersonating you again. Is it? Can you confirm or deny? That's not you. Okay. I'm going to say this. Impersonation is not cool. It might be funny. You might think, I'm going to do a tip and I'm going to use someone else's name. Now, please don't. And here's why.
Theft isn't funny,
it just
Jim.
leads to problems, right? God forbid someone tips something and say something that someone else, oh, now you see what that guy said or this guy said, or, oh, now this person contributed and now let's go harass them for doing this or that. So let's not do that, all right? If you're going to contribute, please, thank you. Thank you so much for contributing to my content. But please, 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 don't impersonate someone else. I don't want to have to shut down certain people from contributing, but at the same time, I can't have people trying to, you know, cause drama and problems, so please stop about that, all right? Okay, thank you. Thank you for understanding. Moving on. I received another tip. Oh, this is interesting. James has tipped me $3.12, and he says the following. Listen to this. Thank you for not being a sellout and putting stuff like VPNs and Raid Shadow Legends in your videos. Yeah, I, over the years, was offered those. Just like you probably noticed a bunch of YouTube content creators who have advertised VPNs or Raid Shadow Legends or something similar. I was offered those. And I always turn them down. I do not accept those kinds of sponsorships because I feel like it's detrimental to my content. To me, to sit here and shill a product to you is not honest, and it kind of goes against everything I stand for.
You're doing it now. You
right?
do it for your content
It'd be
now.
one thing if there was a product that I regularly used. I'll give you an example, all right? What if Hori contacted me, and Hori said, hey, Phil, we noticed that you use our wireless neck phones in your streams every single day. And we have an opportunity for you. We like you to advertise our wireless neck phones since it seems like you like the product. Would you consider advertising and doing a product placement? To which I would say, well, let me think about this. It's a product I use every day. It's a product I stand by. It's a product that I would recommend to people who have health problems like me with their ears. Yes, I would accept a sponsorship like that. There would be no reason not to because it's an honest sponsorship, okay? But the sponsorships you guys see on YouTube are not honest. This is products and shit that these people don't stand by. The reason that they're doing it is to take a paycheck. They're just taking a payment to push a product that they don't use or stand by at all. Even though they claim that they do, it's because they're doing it for the sake of making the money, okay? So that's what I mean. Like, oh my God, what if we want you to push our seltzer. You literally drink our seltzer every day on your main stream. Yeah, I like your seltzer. I would advertise that. I think it's a healthy alternative to drinking soda or something that has calories and sugar in it. It hydrates you. I like the carbonation in it rather than it just being flat soda. I like carbonation. Like, there's many things in there that make that a viable alternative to drinking more unhealthy things. I would advertise that. Why wouldn't I? Right? But I'm not going to sit here and take these sponsorships for things that are crap. And those are the ones, by the way, that you get. Like, literally, you wouldn't get an advertisement campaign for that seltzer. You would get it for a piece of crap that no one wants, but you got to shove it down someone's throat. You see? Why else do you think they're paying for the advertisement campaign to begin with?
He says he's not a shill, but
right?
he shills
So
every time he
that's
plays
the
a
stuff
game.
I'm not going to do.
He has to
And
shill
I
so
used to get
people
them
can
all
come.
the time. Today, I don't even know. You want to know why? Because today, there are so many fakers out there. People who are trying to impersonate companies, and they claim that they have advertisement opportunities for you, and 9 times out of 10, they're actually fake. What they try to do is they try to get you to open a file, and that file is actually a virus. And what it does is it looks like it's here's some of our PR materials, open this and click on it. And when you click on it, next thing you know, that fucker's in your computer. And now they can keylog you, and they can find out all this information. They can even take control of your computer remotely to do shit. And this has been happening a lot. That's how they got into Linus Tech Tips. Because they thought it was a promotional opportunity. It looked legit. They opened a file. That was it. The whole system's under their control now. So these happen all the time. You know, everyone gets them, including me. Yes, I get them. Everyone gets these fakers. So it's really hard to even tell what's real and what's fake these days when it comes to these opportunities. So I couldn't even tell you if I get something real or not at this point. But I know in the past I've gotten these. I literally got one directly from the PR company that works with Raid Shadow Legends. And they contacted me and said, would you be interested? And I said, well, I'm just curious, what's the game? Well, just so you know, yes, it is Raid Shadow Legends. And you just listen to that. That's what he actually said in his email. Just so you know, yes, it actually is Raid Shadow Legends. Like, so it's the one that everyone already advertises, everyone groans at, and says the game sucks. And it's the one, you know, you're embarrassed to do it, but you need the money, right? So, no, I'm not going to take it, you know? So, you're welcome, James. Thank you for the tip. Continuing on. Dan the Man has gifted a membership, and I believe it has gone to Zen Shuriken. So congratulations, Zen Shuriken, on the gifted membership. Boom. We're up to 604 now. And thank you so much, Dan the Man, for supporting the channel. Rhino INV or Rhinoi NV did a super chat and says, thank you for explaining the weather, Phil. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad that someone needs to. I'm glad that someone finally did, because many of you are very confused about this. One time someone actually told me that they thought that the sun was outside their window trying to melt them. I said, that's not what's happening. Okay? It's a greenhouse effect. It's natural, but we've accelerated it. Don't worry. The sun is not out to get you. He's not waiting outside your door with a kitchen knife. All right? I swear to you. Okay. Now, one quick thing. Today's React Day. As soon as this stream, this podcast ends, we're going to swing over to DSP Reacts, and we're going to do DSP versus the Internet, my weekly Clips React show. Everything you see down here is retained for that, except the members, because the members are different per channel. But, for example, the Tip Skull, we keep that, and that transfers over to DSP Reacts. So right now, we're already at $46. If we hit $50, we'll have Gunner glasses for that stream. If we hit $100, you get to vote for a vest. So all that will transfer over, and that's good. I don't, reset those goals just because we're going from stream to stream or channel to channel. I'm going to keep that there. So, I would say, well, let's chill here for just a few more minutes, and then once we're done, we're gonna scoot over, and you're gonna see it's gonna pop up. It's gonna say, hey, go over to DSP Reacts, and I gotta set it up and everything. This should be a good one this week. Like I said, there's a good variety of clips this week, and I feel like this might be one of the better shows. I guess we'll see. Let's see here. I received another $5 tip from Big Papa Pump. And he says, hold on one second. Let me add this because now we're actually going to get Gunner glasses. Cool. Let's do that quickly before we read what he has to say. Gunner glasses time. It's a good start. Derek, I did see the other video that you sent about Chinese New Year, correct? So that is in the list as well. That's, I think, 29th. I think your Toronto video is 28th, and your Chinese New Year video is 29th. We'll see if we can get to them. All right. Okay, now, hold on a second, because I misclicked. I misclicked and I moved it to the wrong spot. Okay, so Big Papa Pump says, thank you for not using clickbait thumbnails like everyone does. Usually, it's someone with a stupid reaction pointing to the video, trying to look surprised to show off something to a 10-year-old. It's frustrating. Thank you for not doing that. Have you seen those kind of thumbnails? Yes. Like, literally, every single video everyone puts out has to have their face on it, no matter what the content of the video. It has to have their face in a weird overreaction, and it always has the same weird border around the head. It's like a yellow or white border, so their head stands out on the thumbnail, okay? And it's just ridiculous. It's like every video. I'm staring at one right now. I'm not even shitting you. I'm staring at a thumbnail that looks just like that right now from our React playlist, all right? Now, I'm not saying there aren't situations that make sense, all right? Because, for example, there are some thumbnails on DSP Reacts that look similar to that. However, it's usually a timely thing for what I'm doing. So, for example, the channel DSP Reacts has a show called DSP versus the Internet. It's me reacting to the Internet. So the thumbnail is always going to be my face looking at a bunch of stuff that we're watching in that video. It's pertinent. And that's because that's the content. That's literally what it is, all right? But if you notice, I don't do that in gameplay, right? I don't do that on my podcast.
I just came
right?
back to say
I
it's
don't
the
do that on
same
any
fucking
video
shit.
That's not
I just came back to say that.
That distinct, actually, that's what you'll find in the video. I'm not going to use that clickbait bullshit, okay? It always has been clickbait. That's been something they've been using for a long time. We were literally talking a couple months ago. We watched the Pro Jared documentary, and actually it was determined he was one of the first people to do those. Did you know that? Pro Jared was actually one of the first people on YouTube to take his big head and put it in a face like this or like that or like and then have that superimposed over whatever he was doing. And he actually got a lot of views based on that. It just became something fad on the internet. It's weird. I try not to abide by most of the fads. I don't. But it's not that I'm immune or I'm completely opposed to them. It's just that I want people to watch content for what it is. You know? Every video should not be me in a cartoony looking face, you know, screaming or doing something over something when it's not even what every video is, right? I don't think any of my gameplay videos should have that at all, quite frankly. I'm glad that we have. If you take a look at the styles between DSP Gaming and DSP Reacts, they're very different. You know, the React channel has a lot of React style stuff that you would expect, while the gaming channel is focused heavily on the gaming aspects of everything I'm doing rather than it being clickbait, you see? So thank you for that. Another tip is coming. Jeez. Oh, this is hilarious. This is actually a very interesting question. Are you ready to this one? If you're so moral, how come you're one of the least respected YouTubers? It doesn't manifest to people that are consistently moral. Because respect on YouTube has nothing to do with reality. That's why. Literally, the level of respect you get on YouTube has nothing whatsoever to do with reality. It has to do with perception. It has to do with fads. It has to do with memes. It has to do with drama. And sadly, in the last decade or more, people have found ways to wrap me up in their horseshit drama time after time after fucking time. Sometimes it's my fault, because admittedly, I'll get wrapped up in it and then I respond to it, and when you respond to drama, all it does is propagate more drama. But there have been many times when people have now determined it is fun to get Phil mixed up in our bullshit. And they will make shit up, and they will literally start entire campaigns about me and against me that I have zero involvement in. But because they do that, it creates drama. And now guess what? People just think of darksydephil as someone involved in drama. Someone who's this, this, and this. Literally the things that most people don't like me for have absolutely nothing to do with what we're doing today. Me sitting here having a fun podcast with you, or playing a game, or doing a react event. The things people don't like me for are things that they've either made up or they've extrapolated upon from private life that have nothing whatsoever to do with the content I put on the internet. But that's what I have to deal with, because that's what YouTube focuses on. YouTube doesn't focus on reality. It focuses on really immature, stupid shit, and people fall into that trap constantly. So you can say, well, why don't people respect you on YouTube if you're moral? Because so many immoral people pull me into their shit. It doesn't matter what I say or do. What matters is all that white noise bullshit that people see first. You understand? If people go on YouTube and the first thing that they search for is darksydephil, they're going to find 17, 18, 20 hate videos about all this controversial nonsense that literally is not real and is fabricated bullshit or based on a nugget of truth that's extrapolated into nonsense that's not true. And it has nothing to do with what I'm doing on my stream. Very rarely will you find any of this content have to do something about, oh, you know, Phil really goofed today. He said something atrociously bad that hurt a bunch of people. You won't even find that. What you'll find is, oh, so-and-so said this about Phil. Oh, you know, Phil refuses to do this and get sucked into drama. This or that. Oh, this stupid bullshit controversy about mobile games or this nonsense or that nonsense that literally has nothing what the fuck to do with what I do on the internet. Nothing. Zero. That's what they've turned me into a weird drama meme. You understand? And that's fucked up because I don't have anything to do with it. I want nothing to do with it. I just want to be here and chill with my audience and have a good time. And for those who ignore that drama and actually come here and just relax with me, it's a great time. But that's the problem, is there's too many people wrapped up in bullshit. They're too stupid to realize that it is bullshit, and they just believe everything, and we love reveling in nonsense. Well, then live in your world of fucking nonsense. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not going to be involved in it. I refuse. Today, people trying to pull me into drama. Guess what? Not taking the bait. I'm going to do my thing, do my own content, as I've always done. Why would I be wrapped up in drama? I'm not an idiot, right? Okay. Continuing on, there's more tips. Good Lord. More tips. So, Pastor Yoda tipped me $2. Said, listening to you sing Usher and Jay-Z recently, have you ever thought about taking song requests that you can sing for a certain tips goal? Here's the thing. I like casually messing around and singing on a stream. I think it's funny. I'm exploring a cave in Oblivion and I start singing, you remind me of a girl that I once knew. I think it's silly, right? It's not serious. It's fuck around. It's funny. It interrupts everything. It breaks up the monotony of maybe something that I'm doing on a stream. Do I really want to make that the purpose of a stream? I don't think so. I'm no singer. I don't really have the ability to sing well, nor any kind of length. Like, I can sing a small snippet of something, and that's it. If I just sit here and try to sing a stream, I lose my voice. I'm not a professional singer. You understand? So I don't think it would make sense. If you guys thought that would be something interesting you'd like to see as like a one-off silly stream, I would consider it. Like, I've done it over the years. I used to play MLB, and when I was playing MLB, it would be the MLB karaoke stream where you guys would pick songs and I would sing a little bit of each one as I played MLB. So only if you thought about stuff like that, maybe I would consider, but I don't think it's going to be anything major, nor do I think it's something I want to do regularly. It's not something that my voice, you know, I'm older. My voice probably can't even accommodate it. The thing is, I'm a full-time streamer. I need to be able to talk 6 days a week full-time. If I lose my voice, I'm screwed. You understand? So maybe as every once in a while, something silly, or if you bring it up on a stream as something silly, but it's not something I want to do regularly, okay? All right, got another tip from Big Papa Pump. Your gameplay on demand doesn't have any kind of clickbait. Most YouTubers have normal gameplay with clickbait. Reacts I can understand because that's the actual video. There you go. And that's the point I'm making is, listen, I had opportunity. Remember, I've been around on YouTube for a very long time. 15 years. I was there at the dawn of everyone using the clickbait title, everyone using the clickbait thumbnail, everyone using the face cam and overacting on camera to get attention. I was there. I said I'm not going to do that. I was more innovative to not do the trends that were the cheap ways to get attention. And sadly, yeah, I definitely suffered for it. People call me the dinosaur or whatever and insulting me because I wanted to make more meaningful content, right? And I took the flack for it. But I don't want to be the person, the only reason you come to see my video is because there's a stupid face on the thumbnail or, a dumb title. I try to make stuff informative and interesting for an audience that really appreciates that I'm different from the others. And I hope you guys understand that's why I do that, okay? Okay. We got a dollar tip here. Ah. And it's just a troll. And like I said, we don't entertain trolls, so fuck off. Cool. Manny Ichi has re-upped his membership for 3 months. Says, can I get a shout out to my lizard? Sure. Shout out to your lizard. Hope your lizard's doing well. Spawn Killer has gifted a membership to the channel, and that membership went to Guts. Congratulations, Guts, on getting a gifted membership this morning, and thank you, Spawn Killer, for supporting the channel. So that gets us to 605 members. Now, as we adjourn the podcast and we swing over to DSP Reacts, obviously the leaderboard, the members are going to change for DSP Reacts, but then later today they'll swing back to this channel. So hopefully we'll hit 610 by the end of the day when we start playing Zelda later tonight, all right? But everything else remains, like the tips and everything will remain for DSP Reacts for us to try to hit our other goals for the stream, okay? Shout out to Golden Colts Backup, who is a member for 6 months now. I know they got a gifted membership last night. He said, yo, DSP, what's your favorite zoo animal? Meerkats for me. My favorite zoo animal? Oh, good lord. Penguins. I think penguins are cute. There you go. Let's see here. Big Papa Pump did another $2 tip. I respect that. You don't follow along with that. It's so refreshing. Well, thank you, Big Papa Pump. I appreciate all your support. All these tips this morning are very nice of you. And I'm happy that you like the fact that I march to the beat of my own drummer, right? I'm not doing all the other things that everyone else does to get ahead. I never have. Okay. I got a $1 tip. Someone says, it's not that you don't follow trends, it's that you don't do anything new, unique, or revolutionary. Well, admittedly, you might be right. It's because I've been around for 15 years, and my audience is a very long-watching audience who like what I do. You understand? Like, people who are innovators on YouTube, what are they really doing? Right? Drama shit. Right? Oh, look what I did. I did drama content that's fluff and meaningless and actually hurtful to people. Wow, you're a great innovator, aren't you? Right? Like, the things I'm doing, people tell me all the time have meaning. Maybe meaningful content isn't necessarily innovative, but at least it has some substance to it. And if people tell me every day, Phil, thank you so much for what you do. I listen to your podcast behind the scenes at work or whatever, and it really entertains me. It calms me down. I watch your gameplay when I get home from school or work after a stressful day. It really makes me feel good, puts a smile on my face. And I had a really bad day, and I watched your stuff today, and I had a great time. Or I jumped on your stream, and we actually had a conversation together live on your stream, which I can't do with any other content creator. And it was meaningful to me, and I appreciate that. Why do you think I'm 15 years in? All right? I don't have a ginormous viewer base. I don't. But I'm still able to do this as a job. Why do you think that's the case? Do you think it's because everyone thinks that I suck? No, it's because I have a dedicated viewer base that like what I do. Despite the fact that there are a bunch of morons on YouTube who literally have turned me into a negative meme, there's a substantial amount of hardcore viewers who like what I do. It's called curated content. It's content designed specifically for a certain group. You understand? And those people appreciate what I'm doing and support it, or else I wouldn't be here. People get a confusing thing here, all right? So, people look at other streamers who get made fun of on the internet. And if you look at other streamers on the internet who get made fun of constantly, if you look at the vast majority of the contributions they get, it's from people who hate them. It's from people who say, I hate you, I pity you, I think you're embarrassing, here's some money. Just keep the clown show going. That's literally what they get told on their streams. And these people are essentially making content and making money off of being derided. All right? I think that's sad. I think it's unfortunate that some people have to live like that. I don't have to. I actually make a living off of people who like what I do. There are tons of people who don't like me, and they're not the people who are here supporting me. It's actually people who like the content that support me. That's the difference that separates me from those other people. is that I actually have a fan base that enjoys what I'm doing. You see? So, thank God. Because I tell you right now, if I didn't have a fan base who appreciated what I did, I wouldn't do it. If it was just people shitting on me all day, I would not make any content. I would quit. I would. The day that I feel that I don't have anything to contribute positive to the world, I will be gone from the internet. But that's not the case. You understand? It's the opposite. I get overwhelming levels of positivity and support, and I love that. That people see through. Despite all the things that are against me, people see through it all. The smokescreen of horseshit and drama and immature nonsense that is YouTube. Excuse me. And they're able to see that at the core of it is someone like me who actually has passion for what he does and wants to keep going and helping people with that content. That's why I don't do the shit that all these idiots try to pull me into. I refuse, because I actually have dignity and self-respect for myself and the content I put out, and I have respect for my audience, that people want to see meaningful stuff and not crap. And I'm not going to make crap. I'm going to make good, positive stuff that's going to help the people who watch it. You understand? Okay. Another tip has come in. Good Lord. I guess we're never going to finish the podcast today. Another tip from Big Papa Pump. You really helped me make it through COVID with your streams. I've been around since way before then on demand when you were just a YouTuber, but you made a big difference for me. And there you have it. You can't make this up. This is the kind of message I get all the time. Does that sound like that's from someone who hates me and someone who thinks that all my content is shit and the only reason that they're supporting me is because I'm a joke and they feel bad for me? No, it's the opposite. It's literally the opposite. And you want to know what? Why do you think there's so many people who can't stand it? They can't stand it because they've tried so hard to bring me down and it doesn't work. They've tried every avenue and it's like, shit, he's still there making the content he likes. He's still making a living doing it. What the fuck? We tried so hard and yeah. I'm not going anywhere. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if YouTube gets shut down, I get shut down off of YouTube. If Twitch gets shut down, I get shut down off of Twitch. It doesn't matter what, no matter what, I'm going to find a platform. I'm going to make content. I'm going to be successful. These people are never going to stop me. You understand? Never. I refuse. I refuse to be stopped. You know who will stop me? Me. The day that I decide it's time to hang up the mantle and quit and say I've done enough. I hope that you guys loved all the years I shared with you and gave you, the meaningful content you wanted, but it's time to retire, then I'll do it. But it's when I decide, not when every other piece of garbage on the internet who likes to hurt people decides. It's when I decide. You understand? That's what sets me apart. I'm not here to just entertain toxic people and take money to be made fun of. I'm here to make meaningful content for nice people, good people who appreciate who I am and what I do. That's why I'm still here today. Okay. Very nice. So, I think we finally covered everything, huh? A lot of people are actually saying nice things. Jackson in the chat says, I've been watching since Sly Cooper 1. You've always been a cool, humble person. Keep up the good work. Thank you. JDTV, congrats on that. He says, we got through the entire Street Fighter collection today and fought Akuma. Mark says, I'll show my kids your content when I have some. Only show them the content since 2017. Old Phil, before I became an interactive streamer, that was really adult-oriented, risque, immature shit. I will openly admit that. But I really tried hard in the last 5 to 6 years to make better content. And I think that would be more meaningful content to watch and share to someone. Okay? It's good to see you, Arkham. Thank you. Hamlers, keep it up. Persuasive, what's going on? Any last minute stuff before we adjourn and we get ready for DSP Reacts, everybody? Lanuli says, there's actually studies that have said you have one of the most supporting audiences of all streamers. It's kind of humbling. Yes, because here's the difference. My audience is real. My audience is not a fabricated group of people who shit on me. Those people exist and they don't support me. The people who support me actually know and see through the bullshit, and they understand the meaning, you know, the positivity here. If you just are here and you hang out with me and have a good time, it's a great time. It's a lot of work, trust me. It is a lot of work to maintain this and to keep the nonsense out. Today was a tough one, but we did it, right? We did it. We got through it. We have a good day today. Reacting to content. We're going to play Zelda tonight. It's going to be a great day. That's what it's all about. That's the meaning behind what I'm doing. I love it. I absolutely love it. I have very long toes. Drawing things says, how long are your toes? Very long. I have very lengthy, weird toes because I have very large feet and they're disgusting, and I'm not showing them to you because you will vomit profusely if you looked at them. I do. Every time I look at, oh. Okay, not that bad, but they're pretty gross. Big Mac has done a super chat, says, amen. Your content is very meaningful to me. Well, thank you, Big Mac. How do you spell your name? Is it like that? Does it have double G? It scrolled off my screen and it didn't show up in my software yet. Hello, Casanova. Good to see you. No, I've never ridden in an ice cream van, and I hope not to. That'd be pretty scary. Why would I be in one of those? Beaver Bother, considering the fact that I don't know the banana song, I don't think I could do a modern rendition of it. No, I would not go shirtless on a stream like Review Tech USA. Never. I would not. There are times in my past when I did stupid things, but I would not be doing that in the modern day. I spelled Big Mac's name correctly. Sweet. I actually got it right. Alright, guys. Let us end the show. Thank you for watching. Remember, we're about to migrate over to DSP Reacts. And I hope that you guys will join me for the fun DSP versus the Internet weekly show. Like I said, the variety of clips this week seems really good. And thank you for your early support. All this support will carry over to that stream. So, you know, we actually have a great head start on doing things like hitting the vest goal and all of that, which is great. And thanks. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much. Let's end the show. And let's get it going. Great show today. Great discussion. Thank you very much. I still, sadly, I don't have an outro. So all I'm going to say is, if you're where I live, stay cool.
I'm just waiting for the chat to pop up. I said I had enough of that shit. That shit was bullshit. Hey, look, it's doubling up. I'm tired. That shit was nuts. But is he gonna start? Like, is it gonna start as the... God, that Cope segment was fucking shitty. Come on, Phil. Come on. Come on. Start this shit up so I can fucking go back out. Dying here, Phil. I'm dying. Fucking dying. That shit was... Ugh. Because he is a predator, Joy. He's a super predator. Okay? He's the ultra predator. Some fucking snort sack. Waiting for him to start. Why is he not starting? I know, it's like a huge Cope segment because of the fucking fight. Eat shit, Phil. You fumbled a huge fucking bag. Fumbled a huge bag. Now you mad. Now you're mad. There we go. Let me give this. We're just waiting for Phil to start. Supposed to start already, right? What the fuck? What is he doing? What is he doing? He's still going. What the fuck? Bro, come on. Can we... Okay, he stopped. So... Okay, he finally came over. Finally. Hey, what's up, Baseline Pro? How you doing, baby? Alright, there we go. The thing is he's starting, though. Like, the viewers came, but when is he starting the fucking stream? I mean, if this fat ass to start any day now. Any fucking day. Come on, Phil. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Ever. Finally, there we go. Fuck. Uh, Omega Kirk, it already happened. Wings won. See? I already told you. Just waiting for this stupid ass fucking pre-shoot music to stop. Can I play the replay without getting in trouble? I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. Fuck this shit. Go to YouTube. Wingo had that fucking reach, bruh. Oh, let me just get the fight going. All right, and then they did some dumb shit. I guess I gotta find the fight. Okay, streamed 2 hours ago. It has to be this one. Live preview show. Wait, where's the fucking fight? No, they're showing these prelims here, but these prelims, like the stream fucked up after a while. Hold on. Fuck. Thank God I recorded this. Hold on. Give me a minute. This is why Shinko does shit ahead of time. There's only a 14-minute fight. Accept it. I got the full HD fight. Hold on. Save to download. Hold on. This shit is whack. Where the fuck is it? All right, here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me cancel this. Fuck. Oh my god, what the fuck is this quality? Ain't no fucking way. Nation. That shit. Oh hell no. Hold up. This is copy. Hold on. Give me a minute, guys. We're gonna do this the right way. Oh! Please don't crack. Yes. This is. I got it. I'm putting. That's the one I'm putting. Here we go. This is happening, baby.
My gosh, there he is. Right there, into the ring. He's wearing the shirt that he shot the pistol. Oh my, oh it's off. Ripped off the shirt. Ladies and gentlemen, the criminal, Boogie 2988 with another criminal, Chase. Or wait, maybe that's not Chase. No, it is.
Chase is back. Someone else back.
Yeah, he's got a mustache shot. That can't be him. Oh, what an iconic ring walk. You know, Boogie said at the press conference, I won just by being here. You know, and just to make this fight happen, so much went into it. And him getting into this ring right now, it's surreal. It's really surreal. They have 5 people spreading those ropes so Boogie can get in.
Mute. I gotta mute it for some reason. I don't know why.
Uh-oh.
This is where you know Wings was coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent making his way to the ring. Wings.
Look how your boy was coming.
Lit up like a fourth, I'm a happy drunk. Come to pop a big mama cause your daddy's drunk. I'm gonna pump it up like a Goodyear blimp. Make you holler for $1, that's the way I've been.
There we go, man.
Dinners on the bayou. Them's all the things that I ain't gon' buy you. It's like one of them freaky things. Hit it once, maybe every couple weekdays.
I ain't seen that yet.
I got no riches, I don't roll bows, and I don't got switches. Got no game, I can't reward ya.
Yeah, he cut my shit off. He cut my shit off.
Guys, you are about to witness boxing history here live.
I can't believe this is happening. I'm pinching myself over here.
He pulled it off.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 3 one-minute rounds. in the heavyweight division. This bout is also standing 8 count will be in effect. This bout is sanctioned by the Professional Boxing Association. Timekeeper at the bell, Peter McCann. And the third man in the ring in charge of the action, referee Jack Goodwin. And the 3 judges scoring ringside, Seamus Dunn, Ian John Lewis, and Gareth Morris. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing the green with gold trim. His official weight of 391.6 pounds. And tonight, he's making his crossover boxing debut. Hailing from Fayetteville, Arkansas, the living mean, Boogie tonight.
He's got a lot of fans here. Wow.
He does.
And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner.
If you haven't seen the fight, spam 1 in the chat.
His official weight of 404.2 pounds.
That man
And
was ready to
tonight,
kill,
he's
boy.
also
I ain't
making his
seen nothing
crossover
yet.
boxing debut. Hailing from Conway, South Carolina, Jordan, the legendary gamer known as Wings. Redemption!
He's got that. Oh, get him.
Here we go.
Here we go. We got Paul Bambo in the corner of
Remember my
Wings.
instructions in the changing rooms. Keep your heads up.
Chase
keep
them
your
all
shots above the
look
waist and don't hold. Do you understand me? Shake hands.
For
Good luck
Boogie.
to you. Back to your corners. Wait for the bell.
3 1-minute rounds.
Here we
I
go,
like how
ladies and
Boogie
gentlemen.
took advantage while this was all happening, sitting down in the corner, reserving that gas
The energy,
tank.
very smart. And he's going to need some smarts.
Second round.
To
First
get
round.
Guys, Wings looks locked in over there. He's
get the
ready to
victory
go.
here.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness! Right off the bat, Wings is
Wings connecting with the punch.
immediate pressure by Wings.
And Boogie taking a step back.
Oh my gosh! He is putting a clinic.
These boys have some heavy hands.
Oh my gosh!
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is how they arrived on those mark carts. As you can see, pulling up his pants there. They were playing bumper cars.
Who won the race? I think
Boogie did.
Boogie won that one at least. Well, we've got to get the shorts right.
You know, we've heard the term saved by the bell, but Boogie has been saved by the shorts. The shorts kept falling.
This could have been a strategy
Take
by
off his
Boogie.
pants,
Imagine.
ladies and gentlemen.
He's lost some weight probably training for this fight.
It looks like they're taping him up, taping those shorts.
Put it around the waistband.
Trying to avoid this London crowd from seeing a full moon.
Yes, I think
They run out of
grateful
tape,
for that.
ladies and
Seeing a
gentlemen.
full moon
That's the
on a
best
Boogie
part.
night.
They run out of tape.
Yeah, and it looks like they're taping him up here. Taping his
Oh, this
pants
is awesome.
to him. This is what I like to see. They should not be coming off after that.
He's there like, yo, look. He's running out of the
All
roll.
crossover boxers, you should be using this to reserve your gas tank and replenish your energy in future fights. Very smart.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Here we go.
Wings just patiently waiting. Oh my gosh! Boogie is in trouble.
And they're going for it. And they're going for it.
Boogie's got to not turn around to the rest of the
Boogie's
court.
got to get one in. And there we go.
We made it to the
He
second.
lasted around, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be a victory in itself right there.
I mean, they've got to be very proud of themselves. They've, you know, to be in the ring in this on this kind of stage after all they've been through.
How you have to stand up and applaud the fact that we are in round 2. I know it's only 60-second rounds, but as you know, in boxing, those rounds last
Look at that, he's not
forever.
even
It's like
making
an
a face.
eternity. And especially with these guys, right? So the fact that we're in round 2 is just shocking.
Well, I can tell you that 60 seconds was a lot longer for Boogie than it was for Wings.
That's for damn sure.
Oh, nice little side uppercut there.
The question is, how much more can he take? How much more of the pressure? He's been taking so many shots that round. Will he be able to come into this round and actually land some punches and do some damage back to Wings? We're about to find out.
He's got to throw.
Boogie's just got to go for it. He's got to get that Hail Mary punch in.
Boogie's got to face him. There we go. He's just walking into the punches there. At least he's throwing a couple.
Ref's gonna call it. Standing 8. There we go. That's the right call there.
Absolutely.
There it is. That was the right call from the ref. That was the right call from the ref.
Boogie protesting a little bit, but I think it was the right call, and respect to these big men for getting in there. I mean, absolutely. That's what this is all about, entertainment, and Keem, you've outdone yourself with this main event.
Well, it's about doing the impossible, and that's what this fight was from the very beginning. To the training, the diet, everything was impossible, and it actually took place. It actually happened.
He looks
You know,
melted.
Boogie definitely at a disadvantage physically coming into this match. He's got to be proud of himself for making it through that round. He tanked so much. You know, he could have gone down right away to one of those punches, but he stood there, he took it, and he stood strong. And, you know, he lasted a round, and that's good.
Yeah, Wings had full control from the very beginning, and it looked like Boogie was trying to set up maybe a defense counter, and it just never came because of the onslaught of Wings just keep going and going.
Do you see that?
Man, if this doesn't inspire you, I don't know what does.
You
You know, imagine getting ready. And like every little move, you're carrying around 400 pounds with you.
I hope Boogie's not too upset, because he really made a great effort to get here and do this, and that's the sad part about boxing. There's usually one winner and one loser.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 33 seconds of round number 2. Referee Seamus Dunn stops the contest, and therefore your winner, Wings of Redemption.
It was over. It was a referee stoppage. Boogie couldn't handle that fucking. Couldn't handle that fucking.
By the way, Wings of Redemption, for a man nearly 400 pounds, I mean, he moves around the ring like he's about 250. I was actually
Damn straight. He moves quick. That boy big. That motherfucking boy big. Big Curry, hiya. Oh, he's muted. Okay, he's not saying anything. It's okay.
Like, you're essentially releasing all the flavors from it, and then that'll go into other things in your restaurant, or in your restaurant.
Nah, it's muted.
In your recipe, excuse me. So he's actually right here.
Right.
I mean, what it is
Gotta back out again.
here's what I
Sorry,
think.
guys.
This guy, Jamie Oliver, first of all, he's British, right? He's making Thai curry. So obviously this is not real Thai curry. This is his take on Thai curry. And a lot of these famous chefs do this. They have their own takes on like classic dishes from
Yes,
other cultures.
that's what a chef is.
So obviously, it's
you
his version.
dumbass.
It's going to be like a UK version. It's not going to be authentic.
Okay.
And now we have someone who
to.
actually
as
knows
long
what
as it
he's
tastes
talking
good,
about,
that's all that matters.
saying literally everything's wrong. First of all, how the hell is that enough rice? Doesn't make one cup of rice for 4 people is insane. That means you're going to have like a tiny little circle of rice with curry on top of it for each person. And then he's like, you know, right, you pestle and mortar, you get more flavor. I don't know about the ginger. Like, I don't know. I think I've ever had ginger in curry.
Right back out.
But obviously, this guy knows what he's talking about, right? He's an English restaurateur and a cookbook author in the UK. He was in a show called The Naked Chef. I see. Okay, I don't know anything about this Jamie Oliver guy.
That's why Auntie Helen pounds so many other people.
Oh my God.
Into the food processor. Then we're going to go in with the lemongrass. Now I need to spank it.
No.
Now I need to spank it.
What?
Stop spanking. Spanking not gonna do anything. You're gonna throw it all in food processor anyway. It's spinning at 9,000 RPM. If you spank harder than food processor, then I feel bad for Mrs. Oliver.
Wow.
Sorry, Jamie's children.
And then this part, I'm just going to break that up and put that in.
I mean, it's funny because he's making valid points. What he's doing, he's like, oh, you know, strike the lemongrass. It doesn't do anything. You're going to put it in a processor anyway. You're not doing anything significant. You're showing off. You're trying to be showy for an audience, right?
Of garlic.
Garlic, good.
And then 6 leaves of kaffir lime.
Kaffir lime, okay.
Pinch of cumin. Beautiful. Little green chilies here.
At least he's fair.
Who is that? See, I think that Jamie wife running away from spanking.
Little green chilies here. Out with the seeds. I'm going to go for 3.
What are those seeds?
What he say?
I'm going to go for 3.
3? Just 3? Just 3 chili for your curry. Hi.
Out with the seeds. I'm going to go for 3.
Uncle Roger making Thai green curry for 4 people. I gonna use like 20 or 30 chili.
Woo!
But he used 3? That less than 1 chili per person.
But Uncle Roger, you have to understand that Jamie Oliver is British. And we all know that British food is usually pretty bland. So anything more than that, he might actually have his tongue swell up and it like explode out of his mouth because it actually has some flavor to it. I'm being facetious here, but the point is, yes, we all know that British food is infamously bland. It just is. Like, everyone can agree, when you look at other worldwide cuisine, usually it have more spice or whatever to it. And likely what he's trying to do here is make a UK version of Thai curry, which is going to be very, very different, right, than what you would expect from a real Thai curry. Thai curry is probably very, very spicy, right? I'm just saying. Already people are very upset with me. UK has the best chocolate. I never had UK chocolate, I don't think. I don't think I've ever had that. Okay, we'll go a little bit further. I'm not gonna watch the whole video because it's 13 minutes. Let's watch a little bit more. It is fun though.
Chili. This not gonna be curry. This gonna be smoothie. Hi. Not enough chili. Uncle Roger predict your green curry not even gonna have green color. Keep watching video. See if Uncle Roger prediction correct.
Yeah, why would it be green if you only put 3 peppers in there?
Why are you deceiving the chili? Why? Uncle Roger realized this is white people's favorite thing. They like throwing out seed of chili. Seed is where all the flavor is. Don't be pussy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you have a jalapeno pepper and you de-seed the pepper, right? The pepper actually loses a lot of flavor. I know because I've done this before in recipes where you remove the seed and you just throw the pepper in. It's actually not even spicy. It's kind of bland. But it's really the seeds that add the unique like bite and flavor to pepper. So if you're cutting out all the seeds, you're essentially taking away a lot of that spiciness that's unique to the pepper. So again, why even put it in there, right?
Your chili seed, hiya. Jamie, don't need to take the chili seed out. You got 5 children. You have more than enough seed.
Oh my God.
Out with the seeds. I'm gonna go for 3. 2 shallots.
That's so many shallots.
Nice bunch of coriander. So
too much coriander. Hiya.
Well, now you know why it's green. It's green from the coriander. It's not green from the chili. It's a Thai green chili that's green because you put an unrelated ingredient in there, right?
So that your paste, that all the ingredient for your paste. No galangal, no white peppercorn, no shrimp paste. Just that little sprinkle of cumin not gonna do shit. This curry gonna be so weak.
Bland.
So
yeah,
weak.
bland and weak, which is what I said.
And
so
then
it looks like he's going
tablespoon
for it.
of groundnut oil into the pan. It's fairly hot. I'm going to go in with 750 grams of chicken. Also, the chicken thigh is tastier, so we'll fry this off. 8 minutes in a hot...
No, Haya, no. Metal spoon or non-stick pan. That's not even the big...
He's a professional chef and he's using a metal spoon on a non-stick pan. That rips the non-stick coating right off of it. It does. You'll get all these cut marks in the pan and shit. He's a professional chef and he's doing that? I can't believe it. That's like a huge faux pas.
Biggest crime in this picture.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to fry chicken like this for green curry. Hiya.
Oh my God.
You need to mix the chicken with the paste and then stir fry it together. Jamie Oliver haven't get one thing right so far.
Yeah.
You're just making chicken stir fry now.
No, that's
And
actually true.
Mixed smoothie. He's making every other food except green curry.
He's literally, you know what he's doing? I used to buy at the grocery store these stir fry kits. And it would be chicken, and it would be a bunch of other things like veggies and sauce. And first you would cook the chicken, then you would add the veggies and sauce and just stir it together. You're done. You made stir fry. He's absolutely right. That's what he's doing. He's not even cooking the chicken in the sauce so that the sauce will be, you know, absorbed into the flavor of the chicken. He does it like. So why on earth, if you literally don't know what you're doing, why act like, okay, I'm a professional chef from the UK. Then do what you're good at. Make food from the UK. Obviously, people like you because you're well-known. You had a TV show. You have restaurants. Make what you're good at, correct? Why are you trying to do stuff you don't even know what you're doing? Oh, this is my take on it. Yeah, it's bland and it's wrong. Then don't do it. This would be the equivalent of me. You know, I can make a pot of Italian sauce. All right? That's about it. That's about all I can really make. It's a family recipe. I do that pretty well. That would be like me saying, well, because I can make a pot of Italian sauce, now I can, like, simmer a pot of mole sauce from Mexico and watch as I do it right now. And I'm doing it completely wrong, right? Well, why do I think just because I can make one, you know, type of food, one cuisine, I can do others? No, you can't. So anyway, that's funny. I like this. That's a good video. I'd like to maybe see more in the future. Now, I will emphasize this. This is the first time we've watched a video like this. I like it, but I don't want to see it every week. Maybe wait a few weeks, submit another one. If someone's interested, I enjoyed that. I would like to see more of that, okay? Okay. What is this? This looks pretty elaborate. It's on a football field. This is an American football field. Yes, it is. The Drum Corps International World Championship in Indianapolis, Indiana. So this would be... Is the Colts football field? Oh my God. This is crazy elaborate. Boy, that guy is sweating up a storm blowing that... it's not a tuba, right? What is that? Look at this. They're setting up a stage. They're doing synchronized dances while a guy plays a tuba. What is this? Is it a trumpet? I don't even know what you would call that. It's huge. It looks too big to be a trumpet. Do 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 do. Where would you... Let me see what the name of the video is. 2018 Santa Clara Vanguard. Babylon, My Body is a Cage. Drum Corps International. So where would this be from? Like a college? Like a university? Is that what this is? This is a bunch of college students? Wow, this guy's excited. Look at his face. These guys are superstars. Band geeks out. You can tell, you know, it must be very difficult to blow those because you see how much sweat they have coming down their faces. So it must take a tremendous amount of like air, and it tires your body out to do that. Whoa, now the music really picked up. Holy crap! Now those are trumpets, right? The lights are hot too. Oh, I'm sure you're right, Ronnie. You're probably right. Those lights are probably very hot to be under. Jeez, look at their faces. They're sweating profusely. I think they're sweating more than the dancers. Damn. Tremendous amount of work. The guy on the xylophone. He's like, this is serious business. Dude, look how many, wait a minute. Look how many xylophone keys he has. There's like 100. And each one probably sounds different, right? Good Lord. Wow. There's a whole world of stuff out there we've never been exposed to, folks. Seriously. All right, let's, that was interesting. Let's see the next one.
And if it needs defending, we'll always rise to the challenge.
So this is Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie 2022. I thought this didn't come out yet. I thought this one is coming out later, right? By the way, we got a copyright warning, but I'm going to assume the copyright warning is from the band video, because there's no way that could possibly be what we just played 2 seconds of, right? No freaking way. This is the new movie, but this isn't out yet, right? This one? So, by the way, guys, if the stream does get shut down for copyright, FYI, if I sit here for 2 minutes and do nothing, it comes back. So just be, you know, just chill. If it does, the stream does come down and says, oh, it got stopped. All right, just wait. It'll come right back, okay? But anyway, let's see what this is. This movie came out August 5th, 2022. It did? This movie. I swear this was coming out and didn't come out yet. Well, I'm confused.
Speaking of which, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are dead. Long live the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has come to an end, and the heroes in a half shell are once again poised to reinvent themselves. The series was perhaps too radical of a departure for the ninja teens. Its Sakuga-style animation could make Studio Trigger salivate, but some fans just couldn't appreciate the show's focus on magic and mysticism. As for my...
Really? The show had a focus on magic and mysticism? That's completely different from what the show used to be, right? Like, it used to always be like grounded in reality. Of course, there's space aliens and stuff, but it was more scientific. And now you say this is magic and stuff? I didn't even know that. I mean, listen, I grew up with the original Ninja Turtle TV show, all right? Late 80s, early 90s. I didn't watch any others. I never did. I know the Ninja Turtles have been rebooted like 10 times since then.
Myself, well, any project that puts food on John Cena's table is okay in my book. And besides, old school purists
Cena
are
was in the
right
show?
now. The success of Shredder's Revenge and the dream come true that is the Cowabunga collection are so deeply ensconced in the 80s era, they should open with the FHE logo. The Turtles are
that was the company that used to do the
cocoon of
VHS tapes of
nostalgia
that.
as the Rise era transforms into something new. Rise was a big swing from a franchise that is no stranger to them. And there's a lot we can learn from how the Ninja Turtles have thrived for 40 years, long after the original fad faded.
Took you guys long enough.
Well, this is a 9-minute documentary. We got 8 minutes to go. I don't know if we want to watch the whole thing. I never saw this show. The animation looks fine.
Unlike the boardroom-driven He-Man, Transformers, and G.I. Joes...
That's literally my childhood. Literally, those are the three... That's like the holy trinity of, like, what boys were into in the 1980s. It was that in that order. It was He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe. Because that's, like, the order they got popular in the United States. So that's, like, what you played with. Those toys in that order and watching the shows in that order.
The 80s, the Turtles are the product of just two people. Dorky New England dudes, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. As their success grew, their creative partnership became strained. They struggled to publish their hit comic book while simultaneously shepherding it into a global phenomenon. By 1987, they were just sick of working with each other. Eastman and Laird both mark issue 11, the post-defeat retreat into the woods that's been adapted across nearly all Turtle incarnations, as the last time they were ever fully on the same page as writers and
Really?
artists.
That was the last time?
They stopped creating, but they keep on curating the Turtles together, even though Eastman's heart was no longer in it. After a falling out amid the disastrous Next Mutation show, Eastman sold his share to Laird, leaving him to lead with his own vision.
Oh, this is the late 90s, early 2000s Turtles, the first reboot.
Known as the 4Kids or 2003 series in shorthand, the new cartoon made a serious attempt to capture the story and spirit of the original comics, to the point of adapting entire Eastman and Laird issues.
Oh, wow.
Though the show wasn't afraid to shake things up either, like controversially merging Krang and Shredder into one evil Utron.
Oh, I didn't even know
was
that.
deeply involved in the 2003 series. He approved scripts and character designs and gave a whole lot of notes. You can even read a bunch of them on his blog and be thankful he's not your editor. His feedback helped make a fantastic series, even if it did get a little bit too toyetic towards the end. And when it was over, Laird 2 found himself finished with the fearsome fighting team. He sold his stake to Nickelodeon/Viacom in 2009.
Oh, so as of 2009, Eastman and Laird, the original creators, have nothing whatsoever to do with the Ninja Turtles. Okay.
Only the rights to publish 18 black and white comics set in his original continuity. I wouldn't hold my breath. But just as Laird was done with the Turtles, Eastman found his way back from the sewers.
What?
His fondness for his co-creation reignited. In 2011, he began working on a Turtles comic for IDW, writing, plotting, and contributing his charismatic and charmingly crude art. Eastman helped kickstart an awesome 100-plus issue run that's nearly unheard of for a modern licensed comic book. In 2020, Eastman released The Last Ronin, a Frank Millerian cyberpunk opera starring the last living turtle in a most bogus future dystopia. The idea was based on a pitch he and Laird typed up back in 1987, right after they finished issue 11.
Oh, wow.
And Eastman, along with writer Tom Waltz, expanded it with the former partner's blessing.
Now, by the way, they're making a game of this. For those who don't know, they're supposedly developing a video game of The Last Ronin that's going to play like God of War, the recent God of Wars. Yeah. And people are like, wow, an actual serious Ninja Turtle game that's going to have like heavy plot overtones and all kinds of dark shit. People are like really getting excited for this.
So, Eastman and Laird have largely left the picture, but intellectual property marches on. How have the new corporate overlords treated the Turtles? The results so far have been a mixed bag, but Viacom's various versions have helped the franchise evolve through experimentations. Riding the tides of trends and tastes has left the TMNT well suited for a successful future. Eastman and Laird's original comics were black and white, emblematic of the self-published indie scene from which they emerged. On the rare occasion the Turtles were seen in color, they each wore identical red bandanas.
They did.
Leonardo.
That confused the shit out of everyone who bought the game, because everyone was watching the cartoon, then the game came out, and on the cover of the game, they're all wearing red. You're like, wait, what? Why are they all wearing the same color? We know that they have iconic colors from the cartoon, but in the comic, they actually all have the same colors, which is kind of interesting. Willow, I'll see you later tonight.
Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael could only be distinguished by their signature weapons. Playmates Toys came up with the Turtles trademark
I had
colors,
every one of
along
these
with their
toys
passion
back
for
in the day.
pizza
Yep.
and personalities broad enough to fit inside a single stanza of the theme song. And that.
All right, guys. I am done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I am rage quitting. We are cutting the stream. I am done. I am done. I am done. Meerkat is available right now. Let me put out. Let me see. All right. Like, I'm done. Hold on. Take this shit off. Yeah, I'm done. I'm just looking for Meerkat shit right now. And I just posted it. Just so you guys know, I wasn't even near my computer. Like, I literally, like, went outside the house and shit. Like, I wasn't paying attention to this. And then, like, every time I try to come back to pay attention to it, there wasn't anything worth watching. So, I'm just going to put Sam Meerkat shit real quick. Yeah, like, I was literally outside. So, when you go over to Meerkat shit, just tell him that Shinko died and he couldn't handle it, so you guys went over there, okay? There we go. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Love you, 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 love you. I am just going to. Yeah, Young Fleur is wilding right now. I'm just going to go ahead and just close up shop. And I will see you guys on Monday. So Monday, we're going to get back to the good shit, okay? Monday, we are going to get back to the good shit. We're going to get back to everything that we used to do. We're going to get back on schedule, okay? This shit just sucks. All right? So love you, love you, love you. Tell me, kid, I said what's up. And I don't know where the hell is my bye-bye thing. Where's my bye-bye thing? Okay. Well, I don't know where it's at, so I'll catch you guys later. All right? Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Bye.